Update here for the Magic Millions. 2-year-old classic sees La Bella Boom by far and away our best backed runner with 35%. And don't forget about best at odds Forgotten Spirit at $51. So they have continued to pile on to La Bella Boom here. Memo is our second elect, but Invincible Woman is the second best backed at this stage.
For fans.
And they're racing. Memo midfield into stride. Secret Sort. OLA the first two out from the play right. Vain Girls going forward. It's a line of 4 with Cool Archie. Just off those, Invincible Woman, Gallo Nero and Memo picking up on the rail. Forgotten Spirit, Lover Flutter, Icarian Dreams got to around midfield but wide. Don't Doubt the Lady on the rail. Further back to La Bella Boom, settles down with only 3 behind her. High Barbie, Quietly Arrogant and Formula Rossa is last. 650 metres left to run. Vain Girl on top. Leading half a length to Playwright. Secret Sword in third. Fourth the outside, OLA, then Cool Archie. Memo's 3 back the inside with Gallo Nero. Invincible Woman under pressure. Icarian Dream next. Don't Doubt the Lady, Lover Flutter. Forgotten Spirit, La Bella Boom's a mile off them. Topping the straight. Vain Girl gave a kick here. Leads by a length and a half to Playwright. Secret Sword, OLA. Memo's trying to get in the clear. Gallo Nero and Cool Archie out wider. OLA's hit the front, 100 metres left to run. Memo's running on. It's OLA in front and OLA's racing away in an unforgettable Millions in the club's colours and all. OLA's beaten Memo. A lineup for third. Gallo Nero, High Barbie, all the Playwrights. Further back, Cool Archie, Quietly Arrogant. Vain Girl, Secret Sword. Don't Doubt the Lady. Forgotten Spirit, Icarian Dream. Well, they're
on screen there at the moment. Tommy Berry, a gun jockey. That's his third Magic Millions. And why does it mean so much to Tommy Berry? His late brother Nathan won this race alongside Björn Baker over 10 years ago. He passed away a few years ago. So to win for the same trainer gives me tingles up my spine. She is a very fast filly. They've obviously forgotten her colours, Kat. So she's wearing the club colours. Tommy Berry, though, a gun rider of 2-year-olds. Roto Millions was meant to be run last Saturday, and due to some very severe inclement weather, we've had to postpone to tonight. So we've got night racing on 7 for the second time in a couple-year-old Guineas. This race is worth $3 million. And Crackfield assembled.
And they're racing. Twillery left well out wide, but going back shortly after the start. Bollinger Miss and Bitter Creek were both slow to move. Zoo Baby won the hop from arriving home. Hella Fast in third. Bollinger Miss. They're down the side at the 800 metres mark, and it's Cottagio in front, a half clear from Street Chase. Third in behind the speed. Zoo Baby arriving home fourth. Stitzenova trying to slide forward on the outside of Hella Fast. Then followed Helder Pay, Basusto, Depth of Character, Shangri-La Express. Yes, Lulu's been off the track. King of Russo picking up runs towards the inside. Give Me Space held up. Twillery, Bohemia are a mile back. New Estra, Bollinger Miss, and last is Bitter Creek. Topping the straight at the 400 metres mark. Cottagio in front, a length clear. Zoo Baby got out. Arriving home runs on. Stitzenova next, and then out wider Basusto. It's Cottagio in front. 150 to go. Basusto's coming to beat him with arriving home. Cottagio, Basusto, Give Me Space is flying. Missed. Just missed. Basusto will beat Give Me Space, who's rocketed late, but will just miss. Arriving home is in a photo for third with Cottagio. Then followed by
another one. He won this race a couple of years ago with Richard and Will Friedman, and he does it again on Basusto. For Annabelle Neesham and Rob Archibald, they have recently gone into a terrific training partnership, and they've had a great start to the
Are coming in, Kaying Rising, Victor the winner, Invincible Sage, Lucky With You have all been rising.
He's just walking away from me at the moment, but he's an impressive type to look at. He's got size and scope. He's got really good strength. He looks a pickful horse, there's no doubt about it. So he goes on top, and I really hope he can win here today because he's a very exciting galloper here.
Cup racing. And it was a good line away. Kaying Rising's being pushed forward from his wide draw to go up and join Victor the winner. Magic Control hunting up a touch in the centre, and Beauty Waves taking a trail fourth on the inside as Kaying Rising drew 3/4 over Victor the winner, and the favourite is going to waltz to the lead. Fifth is Lucky With You around How Deep Is Your Love. Invincible Sage and Helios Express last 7 lengths off Kaying Rising, who leads with Zach Purden by a length and a half. Magic Control. Victor Victor the winner. At his first run for the new barn, third the rail, Beauty Waves fourth. Then came How Deep Is Your Love, Lucky With You, Invincible Sage and Helios Express. 4:25 to go in the Centenary Sprint Cup, and it's Kaying Rising 3 lengths clear over Magic Control. It's a man playing with boys here when it comes to class. He's out by 5. It is Kaying Rising, 6 in front of Lucky With You, and then came How Deep Is Your Love, Helios Express, but the world's best sprinter is going to teach them a galloping lesson. Kaying Rising beat Helios Express and How Deep Is Your Love. Then came Invincible Sage, Lucky With You. Oh, it's a bash up. Kaying Rising, Zach Purton, 1.1 and 1. And David Hayes might have to work him again tomorrow after that. Helios Express, number 3 at 1.2. Men against boys.
The reason for that, ever since Tonkin won the first race, which jumped, led on the fence, was probably one off most of the way and then hard up and ran some time, they have been swooping and sitting off midfield and running on 3, 4, 5, 6 off the fence. And guess where Stapati sits in this run? 2, 3 pairs back. Travels down 3 and he's back into 2.35. Punters are with him. Schwartz dropped into $3.90. Get across from that outside barrier and try and control it on speed. 3 wide will be okay.
Australia Stakes. The Australia Stakes. 38th running. Starter has them, and they're racing. Title Fighter slow away. Southport Tycoon third last away. Stapati's back with them. Simeon straight to the lead from Apache Song, and there's Schwartz pushing up on the outside, driving towards the lead. They're 2 lengths in front of It's Our Time and Poison Chalice, and then came along the river Southport Tycoon, Stapati and Title Fighter. Schwartz is going to slide to the lead. 800 metres to go. By about 1.5 lengths, Simeon, Apache Song, and they're 2.5. It's Our Time, Poison Chalice. Then came along the river Southport Tycoons on the fence, third last. Then Stapati the outside of Title Fighter. 500 metres to go. Schwartz in front, just tried to steady before the corner. Gets its chance here by 1.25 lengths. Simeon 1.5 lengths. Apache Song, then It's Our Time. Along the river, behind them Poison Chalice. Southport Tycoon still third last. Stapati is a long way back, brought to the outside from Title Fighter. But Schwartz clicked up, has kicked away. Schwartz 3 or 4 lengths in front of Apache Song, Simeon. Stapati from a mile back from Southport Tycoon, but it's all Schwartz with 50 metres to go. 2 lengths in front, and Schwartz too strong. Stapati second. Apache Song, then It's Our Time, Southport Tycoon, and behind those horses then was Poison Chalice. Behind those horses, Simeon to the field.
Class in the race, simply too fast. Blake Shin handles bars down, takes over the lead, and then sprints away from a quality field. Absolutely thrashes them in the end. Stapati's done a huge job, got back 1,200 metres.
Time might need a few more key changes than that.
What gave away he was a cold, Emma?
Nothing, Dylan. Okay, market. Shining Smile, $1.65. So that's firmed in the last 5 minutes. Redders, the guy that you liked there.
Gates are back and racing. Shining Smile towards the inside, away fairly. Redders out wide, began quickly with Olatund, Yamashita's Gold. Menchevic isn't too far away. Shining Smile is next along the inside, and Bermondsey at the end. So it's Redders who scampers to the lead. 600 metres to go. With on its inside, Olatund, and then came Yamashita's Gold, and Shining Smile holding its position on the inside as they corner. They were followed by Menchevic and last Bermondsey. A line of 3 around the corner. It's Redders, 3 off the inside with Olatund the middle and Shining Smile on the fence, and then came Yamashita's Gold. Behind those Bermondsey, who's running a bold race, and then came Menchevic, who's about to hook to the outside. Shining Smile accelerated, 250 out, about 2 lengths. Bermondsey the inside, Yamashita's Gold, then Menchevic late, but it's Shining Smile clear. 100 metres to go, extends 1 length and 3/4, almost 2, and the favourite wins. Shining Smile from Yamashita's Gold, and then came Bermondsey in a photo for third with Menchevic, then Olatund, and last after leading Redders.
So he gets his set. Boom. He did not much wrong in the run, Kath, and that was the winning edge.
Yeah, the ultimate perfect.
$3.80 Palm Angel from a wide gate. My Gladiola, she's a big burly filly at the $4.80 quote as well. So it's quite tight there at the top end of the market, as you would expect.
And they're racing. Expulsion towards the outside, bounced away pretty quickly, and showing speed towards the outside. Two Down Crystal is going to lead the race early with Super Live and Wiltshire Square, followed by Boobion. Next in the field out wider is Palm Angel, and they were followed by My Gladiola, Expulsion, Price Tag, and back in the field is Melrose Cosmic Shower. Towards the end of the field then is Miss Celine, and back with it is Shy Star. So it's Two Down Crystal the leader. Around the corner at the 400 metres, out clear by a length and a half to Wiltshire Square, and then came My Gladiola. Further back is Price Tag. Next is Super Live and Boobion, and back behind them Miss Celine. My Gladiola drives through to take the front with also Price Tag at the 200 metres. My Gladiola went for home the grey. 2 lengths Price Tag, Wiltshire Square wandering about, and it's My Gladiola clear. This has been a smart effort. My Gladiola won it. Price Tag second, Wiltshire Square third, and then a head bobber. Miss Celine will get that from Palm Angel. Then Expulsion, Cosmic Shower. Behind them, Shy Star.
She is something to follow going forward, and she gets a Group 3 next to her name. The filly by I Am Invincible out of Villa Verde. John McArdle's
filly is the favourite. Opened $4 on Wednesday, now $3.70. So not a lot of change there from when she went up on Wednesday as favourite. Rivellino, $6 into $4.20 within the law. $6 at the website on your screen.
Building up to the $2 million Inglis contest, and
they're often racing in this year's edition, and jumping quite well, Cobra Club, together with Whiteout showing a bit of speed. Open Secret coming across, and now the Magic Man is right there together with the favourite Price Tag. Kujenga's in that clump as well. Then came Yolo. Boobian back on the rails from Prince Marionette. Now about midfield, Crown the King and the white cap as Open Secret gets back the outside. Artistic Venture down on the rails, followed by She's a Diva. Rivellino's out wide on the outside as Sanctified. Within the laws, back third last from Grafter Burners and Deep Affection. The Magic Man through on the rails. It's the Magic Man from Kujenga. Cobra Club 3 out. Price Tag the favourite, 4 out. Open Secret at the outside. Boubion goes back to the rails from Yolo, Prince Marionette, Artistic Venture and Rivellino down the outside. The runs are coming from everywhere, and moving up in the centre, Price Tag. Rivellino's letting down on the outside, and Open Secret between them, but Rivellino charging away now, rattling home within the law. Rivellino wins the Inglis Millennium a half length. 2 within the law, a cracking second. Photo third, Grafter Burners and Artistic Venture. Then came Sanctified from Open Secret, Price Tag. Further back, Crown the King.
Rivellino wins for Chris Lee's gun trainer, who's got a legitimate 2-year-old to consider a colt by Too Darn Hot. Out of a So You Think mare made its debut at Randwick on the 4th of January.
a really smart colt. I tell you what, the second horse within the law ran an
$1 million. We mentioned Price Tag went up there. You can see her widest in the Munns colours. She finished in 7th and had a wide run, but so did Rivellino, who's about to sort of peel off to her right as you can sort of look at your television there. And this was a pretty strong performance from the Chris Lee's 2-year-old, a son of Too Darn Hot. How good are his progeny going at the moment as well? And he looks like he's on a slipper path, as you mentioned before, Zed.
Yeah, the sales on in Sydney starting today. I don't know if there'll be too many Too Darn Hots that you'd pick up cheaply now, given the way that his progeny are going. But great trainer, Chris Lees, James McDonald.
Favouritism for the moment, where we're seeing very good money for Snow in May, the filly. So Gatsby's open $2.80, now out to $3.50. Snow in May, this has been the best backed runner all day. I can tell you in the last 20 minutes, 15-minute tension has also had some good backers. It's now $5, as much as 11 earlier on in the week. Linebacker opened second favourite, equal second favourite with Mayfair's. You can see they were both $3.60 earlier on in the week.
Lead for Kieran McAvoy, out by a length and a half in the grey Public Attention. Mayfair caught wider out, Just Party slipping through on the rails into 4th. Then Good Luck to Me, Beer Baron the 3 out from Snow in May, and Gatsby's ridden cold last of all. 600 to go, Linebacker, first runners are gelding today. He's a narrow leader approaching the turn from Public Attention and Mayfair. They haven't gone hard. Then Just Party behind them from Good Luck to Me, Beer Baron. Gatsby's being round up between runners, and Snow and May's hard pressed on the fence. Linebacker up the rise shows the way by length on Public Attention. Good Luck to Me, Snow and May the inside, and now Gatsby's winding up wide out. It's Linebacker, a narrow leader. It's Linebacker from Public Attention going to it, and the grey Public Attention puts the head in front and draws away with the Eskimo Prince. It's Public Attention by a length to Linebacker. Good run, first run back. Gatsby's from Wellbacks run third. Then Good Luck to Me. Snow May went hard up the fence but couldn't run on. Then Just Party from May.
South of the border, Public Attention, who's been domiciled out of the Price Kent Rosehill base that's being run by Ben Elam. This was a nice performance from the Coolmore-owned galloper. He was 5th in the Caulfield Guineas. They've got him tracking towards a Randwick Guineas, which, as we mentioned, falls on Sydney Field yesterday. Linebacker gelded and Gatsby's third.
I think the key point with Linebacker is the fact that he's gelded. He had his troubles in the spring. He was very colty on a couple of...
The Colts and Geldings Prelude a couple of years ago. Then Jamie Carr was aboard Barber for James Cummings.
Battle between the top two. The money's coming for the Busselton Young Train. Field of Play could go on race day. They're really starting to get involved. So,
and they're racing. Field of Play jumped away well over towards the middle. Beat out Aleppo Pine, who's using its speed, so the two favourites are right up there. Also showing some lickers, Katsumi Aroki, about a length and a quarter off those. Devil Knight next on the inside from Yamashita's Golden Menshevik. Then came Victory Tune, Olaton towards the back, Tycoon Star, Lofty Thoughts and Autumn Mystery. Aleppo Pine is the leader as they reach the 600 marker by 3/4 Field of Play. A length and a quarter, Devil Knight. Then came Katsumi Aroki out 3 deep as Yamashita's goal. 2.5 lengths away, Menshevik as they dial it up. Further back, Victory Tune, Olaton, well back, Tycoon Star, Lofty Thoughts and Autumn Mystery. It's Aleppo Pine into the running. Jock hasn't flinched as they reach the 300 metres by about a length and 3/4 Field of Play, Devil Knight. Then Katsumi Aroki and Yamashita's gold. It's Aleppo Pine, 150 metres to go. Field of Play is digging right in though, and Devil Knight's coming with Field of Play. Field of Play about a neck in front of Devil Knight, and Field of Play has won it. From in second, Devil Knight, third's Tycoon Star, or Katsumi Aroki's run a race. They were followed by Autumn Mystery and Olaton, and behind those was Aleppo Pine, who got tired. Victory Tune, Menshevik, and then came Yamashita.
Trent Busselton and Natalie Young with a double through the opening 4 races on the first day of the Festival of Racing. They need to cast their mind forward. You wouldn't think there'll be a lot of think music required, though. Right now, Field of Play not nominated for the Blue Diamond. You'd simply have to head there based on what we've seen from him in his 2 careers.
The Valley back in late December.
He has to be the benchmark for 2-year-olds in Victoria so far from what we've seen, because this was faster than the Fillies. It was dominant. The second horse was good on debut, had a nice run just in behind the speed. Field of Play has come into this with only 1 jump out, and you'd imagine he improves rising in trip to 1,200 metres. The disappointing aspect of the race was Aleppo Pine, and I'm sure we'll touch on that shortly, but I know Connections are now pondering whether they pay the late entry fee. I think they're pot committed with Field of Play because he's come this far. He deserves his spot at the top of the betting as the rightful favourite for the Diamond, and you'd only imagine there's going to be improvement to come going into his next run. And he's just got a beautiful racing style. He can put himself up on speed. He's still strong, and to my eye, he looked the Diamond, Ollie.
Yeah, I'm with BZ. I think he's put the writing on the wall with 2 strong wins, on-pace wins. He looks a big, strong colt that can absorb pressure and looks like he's going to cope with his racing all right. There was one just back in the field I didn't mind there, Autumn Mystery, Rory Hunter's horse. He had to go back from a wide gate, came through the middle, and I just think if he gets a fast-run Diamond, he's going to be a horse that's going to be strong at the end of 1,200.
We used to have a flashing light segment on the Wrap. We might have to bring it back because Ollie's finding all these horses from the back of the field.
Yeah, it might not be the worst segment as well, and a couple of cheeky whispers at the end of the show where Ollie's found them and where they're going next and what sort of price they are. But being the big firmer for the Blue Diamond field to play on the back of what we saw yesterday.
You can see Autumn Mystery. It's
impressive enough to be backed into $5 second elect for a Blue Diamond in 2 weeks' time. Field to play the Colts and Geldings division. My Gladiola, as I mentioned earlier, is your $4 favourite for the Blue Diamond in 2 weeks on Sportsbet Futures. Have a look at the price we've come up here. Over 75% of turnover is with the filly in the Fillies division. My Gladiola.
Gates are back and away. My Gladiola towards the outside began very well with Expulsion in the first few strides. Odessa's also showing speed with Wiltshire Square the outside. Not too far away as Palm Angel, fifth on the fence from Gin Spirit Miss Celine. They were followed by Super Grace. Towards the back is Loren and also Exit. So it's My Gladiola cross to the rails and then tried to slacken a shade as they reach the 650 by 3/4 of a length. Second is Odessa, a length Wiltshire Square. They were followed by Palm Angel and then Expulsion between fillies. Gin Spirit deeper, then Miss Celine Exit. Well back in the field, out wider is Super Grace and Loren is last. So it's My Gladiola held together around the corner. Just over 300 metres to go from Odessa. Wiltshire Square is stoked up on the outside, followed by Palm Angel and Miss Celine. My Gladiola kicked into gear, 200 metres to go. A length and a quarter in front of Palm Angel's out. Giving chase, My Gladiola's got a contest. Palm Angel goes up. Palm Angel took the front and Palm Angel's won it from My Gladiola, Wiltshire Square, and they were followed by Miss Celine out wide. Further back in the field was Expulsion in company with...
First time, but rising in trip to the 1100. At this stage of the race, I thought she's just going to win easily, but she didn't go on with it. What was your sort of take on it, Damien?
Yeah, look, nothing against Jamie. You could see he offset his gate really quickly, got over doing no work really. Thing I look back at, and I remember racing against the mare of this horse, My Gladiola, Villaverde. She was essentially a 1,000-metre horse, probably 1,100. And I went back and looked at her record. She had 8 runs at 1,200 plus and never won. She might have struggled to place. So she looks perhaps a 1,000, 1,100 metre type horse, but against that now...
At occasion now, after yesterday, we're saying the opposite. So it's been very reactive this year with these 2-year-olds, and the market quite open as well. And Palm Angel, it wasn't too far away. She was $51. She's now a $5 favourite. Field of play.
Some Group 2 racing now, the Rubiton 7 runners, and Mahaba's back. Residual fitness, unlucky in a winter bottom at Group 1 levels. 370 and your favourite was...
Riders in close, Gates are back and away. Miss Aria missed the start. Insurrection jumped very well. Straight to the lead from Mahaba and Ray Magnerio with Band of Brothers on the fence, and then Title Fighter, Prairie Flower, and at the end of the field is Miss Aria. So the leader onto the course proper, Insurrection, and tries to stack them up from Mahaba, and out 3 wide Ray Magnerio. Band of Brothers next from Title Fighter, Prairie Flowers wide with the back of Ray Magnerio, and Miss Aria last of the group, only 4 off the leader. Insurrection, 600 metres to go from Mahaba, 3/4 of a length away off the lead. Ray Magnerio 3 wide, a length and a quarter. Band of Brothers, Title Fighter, Prairie Flower and Miss Aria. They run the corner at the 400 metres. Insurrection's had it pretty cheap, about a length and a quarter in front of Mahaba, Ray Magnerio, Band of Brothers, and behind those Miss Aria trying to bullock through the field. Insurrection, 200 metres to go, shown the whip about a length and a half. Ray Magnerio's trying to pick it up at the 100. Insurrection getting tired. Ray Magnerio's bowing it down. It's a trier. It's a winner. Ray Magnerio, a big winner. From Insurrection, Prairie Flower, Mahaba, Miss Aria, Title Fighter, and last Band of Brothers. Oh, the connections have gone troppo downstairs, and rightly so. Ray Magnerio has worn down.
Benchmark sprinter for Robbie Griffiths, put into an Oakleigh Plate last year where he ran 9th. And Ollie, based on how he returned yesterday, with a little bit of carryover fitness from sort of later spring carnival preparation, he can go and run a race and hold a place in our Group 1 feature sprints.
Absolutely. He's Mr. Consistent.
And was just pinned sort of in the last stage of this contest, and may have just felt the pinch coming fresh into that contest off a significant spell. But the winner has to be high in consideration for an Oakleigh Plate. And the Oakleigh Plate's in a funny spot, but the big disappointment there yesterday would have to be Mahaba. Like, he was in a nice position early, settling outside the leader. He'd had a terrific run in Perth in the winter bottom and looked as though he was potentially on a path. He's really going to go to this race because a number of them could end up racing at Flemington next week and then not racing the week after at Caulfield.
And Charlotte Littlefield, basically a 350 favourite. Growing Empire, a 422nd elect. I'm Me 8 with Traffic Warden. Growing Empire BZ, the second elect. There was some concern about a recent trial. You were not worried?
No, I thought he jumped out well. I wasn't concerned.
Newmarket. Obviously, this picture will take more shape next Saturday via the Black Caviar Lightning.
Yeah, and Switzerland is going to be the one that holds.
Here's the Autumn Stakes for the 3-year-olds. Angel Capital's undefeated first up, and he's popular with sports bet punters, that is for sure. He's trolled up really well. He gets a run of the second elect, but it's Cotoggio that they're coming for. The residual fitness, hard fit, on-speed horse.
And away they go. Acton on Verba was slow, so it goes out the back. So a few speed maps ripped apart there. Plymouth driving through to lead Cotoggio, Detroit City, and then a fired-up Jenny the Fox. Evaporate fifth on the rails from Angel Capital, Statuario, and at the tail Acton on Verba. Plymouth led Cotoggio off the back section as they reach the 1,000 marker, and they're 2 lengths Detroit City, Jenny the Fox, and further back Evaporate on the inside of Angel Capital, 3/4 of a length off it. Statuario second last, and at the back Acton on Verba. Plymouth the leader as it liked by about 3/4 Cotoggio at the 800. A length and a half Detroit City, Jenny the Fox. A gap to Evaporate and Angel Capital in 6th place and 5 off the lead and getting closer. Statuario second last from Acton on Verba. Plymouth at the 600 metres by about a half Cotoggio. A length Detroit City, Jenny the Fox. Then came Evaporate, who'll be trying to get off the rails shortly. Angel Capital has its outside from Acton on Verba and Statuario. So it's Plymouth leaving the rails, comes into the straight at the 300 metres by a length and a quarter. Cotoggio, Detroit City back to the inside. Angel Capital down the outer, Evaporates, hit a brick wall. Plymouth at the 200 metres in front. Angel Capital is storming down the outside. It's on one rein, straightened up and went on by, and Angel Capital, so impressive, has raced away to win it. Plymouth second, third Evaporate, then came Detroit City, prominent for 4. Statuario there with also Jenny the Fox. Well back in the field, Cotoggio and Acton.
Returns here in the autumn and stamps himself as a legitimate contender for an Australian Guineas, or do they look to take on the older horses in a couple of weeks' time in a Futurity? But 7 last 200, 11.19. Clearly they had a lot of energy at the end of the race, and it developed into a sprint home. He went from basically second or third last to zooming over the top of them, and rightly deserves to be favourite for the Australian Guineas. I had a chat with Clinton McDonald this morning. He's bright-eyed and bushy-tailed, so too's the horse. Apparently he's ate up well. All is fine, and they're going to not sort of resist the temptation of taking on the older horses and head towards the Guineas in 3 weeks' time, and then potentially back up into an All-Star Mile.
So Plymouth second at the beginning of his second racing straightening.
Well, it worked out perfectly for Ben Mellum on Angel Capital. He had Mark Zahra right where he wanted him on Evaporate, and could just sort of babysit him around the turn. It could go when he wanted, and you could see Evaporate couldn't get some clear running there. So certainly forgive from Evaporate there, but they looked the two.
Right side's Will to Chase landed him a last ride victory and 5th Group 1. He got up. I think Mr. B's back in town. The Orr, an opening opportunity for greatness.
Here we go, the Group 1 CF4, weight for age, 1,400 metres. It doesn't get any better leading into the autumn. Mr. B's back and he's shooting for 9. Group 1 wins, and it's all about him. 60% of turnover with sports bet is with Mr. Brightside. He's the horse to beat, so says the market. Solid. $2.70 from his opening quote at $2.60. Another Will's been the best backed outside of him, $4.50 into $3.30. Can he win at weight for age? He's going to get the best run in the race. Question mark, where will Craig Williams?
Could have some residual fitness from his last preparation. I love the recent trial to suggest that he does, and he's got that tactical versatility that maybe in the...
Mr. Brightside on top because my heart wants to put him on top. I've gone with Another Will. I just think when you compare the two horses side by side, Another Will just looks that little bit fitter than what Mr. B does on this.
Punters. He's the horse to beat here, upwards of 65% of turnover now. What's Craig Williams going to do? At weight for age, you can't afford to get it wrong anywhere. Mr. Brightside, $2.60. Another Will, $3.40, the best backed outside of him, and he's your market mover.
101st running. Sets, and they're racing. Beautiful line two. Samana's going back to the end with Pinstriped. Another Will. Noses Private Life in the early strides, and then came Schwartz out deeper. Stapati's nice and close outside of Southport Tycoon. Mr. Brightside, initially fourth or fifth, is now moving around the field. So it's Schwartz leading off the back at the 1,000 metres by a length to Mr. Brightside. They were followed by in third Private Life, and then Another Will. A length and a half Southport Tycoon Stapati. 2 lengths Freedom Rally outside of Super Smink, and then towards the end of the field Samana and also Pinstripe. They continue their journey past the 800 where it's Schwartz striding out, tries to get a buffer over the champ. So the leader Schwartz by 2 lengths Mr. Brightside, a length and 3/4 Private Life. Then came Another Will, a length and a half Southport Tycoon at the 500. Further back is Stapati, Super Smink, Samana, Freedom Rally and Pinstripe. Schwartz comes up towards the corner, tries to run them ragged as they reach the 350. It's off the rails. Mr. Brightside is idling up. Private Life's got a run up on the inside, then Another Will. Mr. Brightside went to the front at the 250, hands and heels. 2 lengths Another Will, Private Life, Super Smink. Mr. Brightside, 100 to go. Another Will, 3/4 of a length coming at Mr. Brightside. Mr. Brightside, Another Will's got it. Another Will, an emotional win at Woolsthorpe. Another Will has won it from Mr. Brightside at Gapster Party. They were followed by Private Life, Samana in a photo, and then Southport Tycoon, Super Spinks run a race. Schwartz got tied, Freedom Rally, and behind them Pinstriped. A magnificent renewal of the Orr. Another Will's got up to beat Mr. Brightside.
Well, sometimes these things are written in the stars. The late Colin McKenna would have turned 75 last Tuesday. In the space of an hour, the horse that gave him a Caulfield Cup in his final days, Duke de Sessa, and now the horse that is named after his grandson and gave him so many thrills in Another Will, is a Group 1 winner. Jamie Mellum has the first Group 1 winner under her married name, her 16th overall. She made the Festival of Racing of 2024 her own with 4 victories, and she started in stunning fashion as well. And Kieran Maher, after placings with Lighthouse Nugget Racing CEO Ben Salinger. Mr. Brightside loses no admirers. He did all the work to pull them up to Schwartz and was just found one.
Name, and what a way to do it on this horse that means so much to you, obviously to so many.
Look, I thought about this day, dreamed about it the last few days, but it's amazing that things like this happen in racing. Like, there's a God in racing, there's a Colin in racing. This horse has deserved it.
It's you know, it's beautiful. You know, I think it's the first one that Colin Janice bred to win a Group 1, you know. That's very, very special. It's probably not fitting that he can't be here. He just would have been so thrilled, but, you know, I'm pretty proud.
And Typhoon Tracy, no less. Damien Oliver, there was this early move from Craig Williams that was pivotal to what happened at the very end of the race.
You could see early he was looking to slot in somewhere and there was really no spot for him to get in, so he had to force his hand to go forward. And look, as I said, Another Will drew perfectly, was able to just claim that 1 out, 1 back position. It's a nice, evenly sort of run race, but the 2 class runners really did gap the rest in the run to the line.
Yeah, significant gap to Stapati, who grabbed a third Group 1, Mr. B, and the winner, Another Will, who breaks through at Group 1 level with the only 2 horses in the race to break 11-7, getting home.
As they reach the 350, it's off the rails. Mr. Brightside is idling up. Private Life's got a run up on the inside, then Another Will. Mr. Brightside went to the front at the 250, hands and heels. 2 lengths, Another Will. Private Life, Super Smink. Mr. Brightside, 100 to go. Another Will, 3/4 of a length coming at Mr. Brightside. Mr. Brightside, Another Will's got it. Another Will, an emotional win at Woolsthorpe. Another Will has won it.
Zed, you had Another Will on top yesterday. Was that effectively in your mind's eye how you thought Another Will could take Mr. Brightside down?
Well, yeah, clearly, but he's always threatened as though he was going to be a horse that would be competitive at the elite level, and he's just Kieran Maher's slowly built him up. He hasn't rushed this horse at all. Like, they took a while for him to...
I think the barrier positions really set up the race. I think if you swap the barriers, you could easily have swapped the results, because then Mr Brightside would have had the cold sit on Another Will, and he would have had the last crack at him. So you could see Another Will had to dig deep to get him, and he did, and he was able to just nab him late.
I thought it was interesting, Jamie Carr made mention in her post-race chat about changing the whip, and Damien, sort of put it to you, you can really notice when she goes from the whip in the right hand, switches through. It was almost like she was saving the last 50 to 100 metres with that whip in that left hand. Is that something in a jockey's sort of kit bag that you have when you can switch the whip to try and get that last piece of effort?
It can be. You can often, when a horse is sort of, you know, you're just looking for that last little bit of effort, if you do, you know, switch it over and a little surprise and give them one in the other hand, you can often just get that last little bit for them. Yeah.
Mr Brightside, Quinny, so doesn't get the 9th Group 1 that would have drawn him alongside another stable favourite in those colours in Better Loosen Up, but 8 wins at the highest level, 9 placings, 7 of them seconds, throwing a second in an All-Star Mile last year that is now a Group 1. He's got an amazing honour roll, but there's probably a flip side to things where he could be a 13 or 14-time Group 1 winner.
Well, he might be by the end of the preparation, you
well,
don't know. And we've got to remember the fact that this is a miler kicking off his campaign yesterday who's been beaten a small distance by a rising star galloper as well. So for all the people that were a bit flat about Mr Brightside in defeat yesterday, you'd just think he's beautifully placed now for the likes of the Futurity, another tilt at the All-Star Mile, and then potentially to go to Hong Kong.
So crystal ball out, this is the Futurity market in a fortnight. So worth noting, in all likelihood, Another Will go straight into the All-Star Mile, which is part of the repackaged Super Saturday program come the 9th or 8th of March. I wish I win in all likelihood. We probably don't see before the Futurity as well. So this Angel Capital likely heading to an Australian Guineas. It's a relatively open race outside of Mr Brightside.
And he was $3, said Nigel, and I think the $3 might be value by race time because, as you said, some of the other key contenders will most likely come out. We took a shorter price.
Here, now $2 even on tab fixed odds. Was as much as $2.50 when markets first went up. We saw Yorkshire in the previous race very heavily supported, and punters are going double or nothing into Jolie Star. Now even money, but holds about 75% of the investment. I think she'll start shorter than the $2 currently on offer. Magic Time had to trim up as well, 3.30 into 3.10. Iota Merc, 8.
Well, back now, Jolly Star in the last 10 minutes. They're off and racing. Jolly Star jumped out OK. Airman didn't. It's going to settle last. And the former Irish sprinter, Give Me the Beat Boys, flew out to lead comfortably from Iota Merc. Jolly Star put hard on the bridle to sit on the outside there at Magic Time. Then Airman and Alencia dropped back to last of all. So Give Me the Beat Boys, 2 in front. Iota Merc into a clear second. Magic Time over racing in third. Airman up the inside, and Jolly Star's planted in a 3-wide position on the outside of Magic Time. And a length and a half last of all is Alencia. So Give Me the Beat Boys, 600 to go. Leads from out of Merck in the small field in a very handy roll. Then Jolly Star parked on the outside of Airman, and Magic Time wedged between the pair. And Alencia's last of all, 4.50 to go. Give Me the Beat Boys, it turns in front from Iota Merck, and now Jolly Star chimes in on the outside. Magic Time on the small fields in a bad situation here. Airman goes up the fence, Alencia on the outside. Iota Merck takes the lead. Jolly Star's got the job to get there. Alencia on the outside. Iota Merck, Jolly Star. Magic Time gets the run. It can open up eventually, and Magic Time out sprints them to beat Iota Merck, and Jolly Star third. Then Alencia, Airman, and Give Me the Beat Boys.
Oh, what a win to Magic Time now in the famous colours of Yulong, and she's even better when she gets on rain-affected going. So Graham Begg, he is a master trainer of these fillies and mares. And Katie, there is a...
Big time on her seasonal return in the Group 2 Expressway. So she was second to Belclair over 1,400 at Randwick in her last 2 runs in the spring. That was, of course, the Invitation and then the Hot Danish. She took down a pretty good field yesterday, and Jordan Child's able to poke her through. Of course, she's now part of the growing broodmare band, I suppose, that Yulong are building here in Australia. Benny, we're used to seeing her in the sort of cream silks, and she was poking through in the Yulong green yesterday.
Yeah, and I guess the talking point, aside from the brilliance of Magic Time, who looks like she's in for another good autumn, was Jolie Star. She didn't have a an ideal run, wasn't able to be smothered up, and she hasn't been beaten far at all, so you'd think she'll be better for that run.
So these are the celebrations in our broadcast area yesterday. So Gab goes right back into her position. That was 5 seconds before a market update at Flemington. So incredible ability to kind of switch focus. The other thing she has...
Chestnut there out of a mare called Cuddlesome. There you go, Katie. Well, look at that. 33 starts for 15 wins and 13 placings. She was an out-and-out win.
Shenandoah is your current...
Market update.
Lady Shenandoah is your current favourite here on Tab Fixed Odds. Now, we laid the other Lady of Camelot, when markets first went up. She went up $4.40 and we got knocked off straight away. She bottomed out at $2.70, but now back to $3. And Lady Shenandoah is your current favourite, $2.70. In terms of the hold...
Lady Shenandoah is the favourite, and the gates are back. They're off and racing, and Dance to the Boom and Lilac were the first two into stride. Lady Shenandoah is very handy to them. Moving up on the inside, Lady of Camelot, though, showing great spark. And out, Lady of Camelot takes the lead away from Lilac. This has put Dance to the Boom out wide and firing up as a result. Lady Shenandoah's in the middle, Shahisha on the rails. Further back to Phenom, then came Silmarinian from Lazura. De Clichy Boulevard gets back with Manal, then came Castagna from Amelita, and Rag Queen is the last one. Lady of Camelot in the blinkers, she's the front runner at the 600 by a length on Lilac, then Shahisha. Lady Shenandoah in a great spot, Dance to the Boom the outside. Further back to Silmarillion from Lazura, Phenom, De Clichy Boulevard, Manal is second last, coming up the rise, and Lady of Camelot sustaining the speed. She's two in front to Lilac, and Lady Shenandoah starting to run on. Lady of Camelot at the 200. She's all out now, and Lady Shenandoah moved up on the outside, and the Lady Shenandoah takes the lead from Lady of Camelot. Clear then from Lilac, but away she goes. Ease down, Lady Shenandoah. Spectacular first up win in the light fingers. Beating Lady of Camelot. Lilac third, Lazura running on together with Amelita. Then Castagna from Shahisha. De Clichy Boulevard, no run on from Manal. A good gap back.
She's the star filly. Her name is Lady Shenandoah. She was too good for them in a flight stakes over a mile. She returns in a light fingers and gives them a beating over 20.
Oh, she really does. She is an out-and-out superstar. And what do I notice about her? Of
course, they're real well-balanced. She's just run down a golden slipper winner there. It's had an easy time in front, so that's a very impressive win.
And also, we saw...
The winner, of course, of the Flight Stakes in stunning fashion in her first preparation. That was off the back of winning a Ming Dynasty yesterday. This was an excellent performance. The biggest problem facing Chris Waller across the next couple of months is how he goes separating all these high-calibre fillies, because he's got Lady Shenandoah, he's got Autumn Glow, he's got De Clichy Boulevard, he's got Amelita. There's a plethora of them.
Yeah, the big three, Lady Shenandoah, Aliana,
yeah.
I think was, and looks pretty special. And then Autumn Glow, who was, prior to missing the Flight Stakes, was rated head and shoulders above the others. Now, they've clearly bridged the gap, the other two. And Lady Shenandoah, is she a Doncaster horse? She might well be on the way she's going, but exciting problem to have there for Chris.
Actually, Chris Waller, the last few years, of course, Wings won it 3 times. He won it last year with Fangirl. She's trying to...
Australia, including unbelievable win in the Wing Stakes, that huge win in the Turnbull, the Cox Plate by 8 lengths in track record time, and then rounding out the spring with the McKinnon.
Yeah, the only time that she got beaten, but Fangirl, I've changed her to my on-top selection because I think Fangirl sprints quicker than everyone. The race
is Manto.
Via Sistina favourite, just touched $1.95, back out to $2 now. We opened $2.40 on Wednesday when markets were first posted after final field, and she currently holds about 57% of all money. Fangirl we have laid as well, $4 into $3.70, and as you mentioned from the mounting yard, Kale Wolf's been easy, $3.20 out to $5. Lindemann looks...
Of the Group 2 Apollo Stakes.
Metres. Evens about Via Sistina in the rough and racing. She was last out and Lindemann was first out. Arapaho pretty handy together with Zardozi, and Golden Path is not that far away. Followed then by Fangirl, one off the fence on the outside of Via Sistina. Length and a half to Cheowolf, and a Tissue's been taken back to last. So it's a soft lead for Lindemann out by 2 lengths. Arapaho on a forward roll. A couple off to Golden Path, and Zardozi's fourth down on the rails. Length and a half into last year's winner, Fangirl, is keeping the star mare pinned away on the fence for the moment, Via Sistina. A length further back to the youngest horse in the field, Wolf. And a Tissue sees them all. So Lindemann minding his own business in the lead. Out by 2 lengths to Arapaho. Several lengths away to Golden Path on the outside is Zardozi. A length and a half to Fangirl. A half the inside Via Sistina. A length further back to Wolf. And a Tissue's the last one. Around the corner now in the Apollo Stakes. Lindemann 2 lengths clear. From Arapaho, Golden Path. Fangirl pulling out. Zardozi on the inside, and a Wolf moves up, just trying to keep Via Sistina in a pocket there. Lindemann 2 lengths clear. Fangirl is starting to lengthen. Lindemann being tackled by Fangirl, and away she goes for back-to-back wins. Via Sistina rattling home late, but Fangirl too good. Beat Lindemann, Via Sistina, and Wolf did the favourite no favours. Further back then to a wrap.
What a win to Fangirl. She promised to do that. We need to unpack this race. There's a lot of storylines to evolve out of it, but the first one is the gun ride that Jason Collett gave Fangirl. And Katie, there's been a lot for what she is a really classy mare, especially fresh.
Oh, she certainly is, and she was given an awesome ride there from Jason Collett. She was in the right on her. She lets go with a massive big turn of foot, and she was absolutely awesome. And I think Emma's with...
Collett grabbed another Group 2 on the Randwick program yesterday with Fangirl going back-to-back in the Apollo. She was third in the race back in 2023. It's often the kick-off point for the better weight for age gallopers in Sydney at this time of year. She, of course, was third in the Winx, third in the Champions Mile, and won the 7 stakes during a spring campaign. Jason Collett was in the saddle yesterday, and as Ben mentioned, Ollie, we might be the beneficiaries of the depth in the ranks and races coming up at the right time, that she could be an All-Star Mile aspirant in a few weeks' time.
Yeah, she had the perfect run there, given the perfect ride by Jason Collett. Via Sistina, a little unlucky, got held in a little bit by Wolf there on the outside. She certainly lost no admirers there yesterday, and Lindemann was strong, setting a good pace. He held on really well there too as well.
I love the run of Via Sistina. Yeah. Like she needed to hit out, and also it's, you know, it's a big 6 weeks ahead. It's very early doors.
Yeah, we'll have the internet.
Who's trying to keep this good little record going here up to back-to-back.
Well, Royal Insignia is your favourite for this one. Just a little bit below opening quote. Now, pretty well supported, but nothing really jumping off the page up the top. The weight of money pretty even throughout the top 3 here for Roche. $8.50 into $4.60 has really come in. But look, if you look down the page, Gold Rush Guru absolutely smashed. 31 into 10, now into $9.50, and a lot of good names attached there as well. As we move further up the page, Heinlein, $8.50.
CS Hayes Stakes, race number 7.
Ready, gates are back and racing. Royal Insignia dwelt, and Scary goes back to the end. Stay Focused straight to the front from Stay Humble. Also Gold Rush Guru's in that firing line as they settle down. Storm Ahead is pushing through, and behind those horses for Roche. Then came Sepples on the inside, followed by Opening Address, who's looking to improve its position. It's about 7th. Further back is Red Aces, Royal Insignia, and then came Santa Millie on well back Henline. Towards the end of the field is Endola and also Scary. Stay Focused, the leader, 850 metres to go. It's been solidly run by a length and a half. Gold Rush Guru is second, and they were followed by Stay Humble. 4th on the outside is Storm Ahead, and they're 2.5 for Roche. A similar gap, Sepples on the inside of Opening Address from Royal Insignia, 10 or 12 off the lead from Saint Emilion and well back Red Aces, and then came Henline with also well back Scary and Endola. Into the running at the 450, it's Stay Focused from Gold Rush Guru. Stay Humble next the rails, then Storm Ahead for Roche. Sepples is trying to dart through the field, and further back is Opening Address. Still Stay Focused at the 250, about 2 lengths in front of Sepples, giving strong chase, and then for Roche and Endola late. Sepples went to the front though, 100 metres to go. Surges on, 2 lengths in front, 3 lengths in front. That's a big win. Sepples from Endola for Roche 3rd, Gold Rush Guru 4, followed by Stay Focused. Next to finish Opening Address and Royal Insignia. Storm Ahead behind those. Red Aces, Henline, Scary, Stay Humble, and at the tail, Saint Emilion.
Oh, we've got an emerging type here. Watch the Australian Guineas market flip on its head. Sepples, start number 4, win number 3, going stylishly through the grades. has beaten some progressive colts here, Lizzie, and beaten them easily.
Towards the Australian Guineas, 32 have tried, 8 have succeeded in completing the double. That will be, in all likelihood, what is in front of Cliff Brown Seeples, who we've had a story here with a horse who's in his first preparation had a bit of rain.
Dola was a sharply improved run, second up, coming from last. He looks on track to head towards an Australian Guineas. The word was Billy Egan got off Feroci and just said he didn't handle the conditions yesterday. He was ducking and diving and not really appreciating the conditions. And Damien, I thought Gold Rush Guru was pretty good as well. You were mentioning that you liked his run, and he's only going to be better suited up to 1,600 metres, probably on a firmer surface.
Yeah, I didn't mind him, and also stay focused, both on top of what appeared to be a pretty good speed, and they stayed on pretty well. I think Nadola was a benefactor of a good, genuine tempo, being able to run on from the back. And the favourite, was it Royal Insignia? He didn't look to be comfortable on the ground either there.
He just doesn't. I just don't think he handles. He's had a couple of times now on wet tracks, and he's raced well below his best. So.
Speed of IME have come out of the race. They are both late scratchings. Just spoke to the connections. And
Caviar Lightning, the feature of the day, but here we go. Angel Capital now $4. Your favourite for the Australian Guineas, $7 second elect is Sepples after the CSAs. Let's rip into the main race. We've had a couple of late scratchings because of the inclement weather. 13 cents deductions. Mornington Glory and IME have come out as late scratchings. It's all about Switzerland. 65.5% of turnover, say Chris Waller. James McDonald has jumped off a lot of great horses in Sydney to ride Switzerland, and 240's an Avalanche. 360 Rock Solid is growing. Now, who's the blowout? Benedetta, 15 to 950 with those 13 cents deducted.
Might be too sharp, but she's come back in looking really, really well. She's moving super. Her coat's lovely. I'd be looking...
2 years ago. He's a super talent. I think he's jumped out well because he didn't have the blinkers on in the jump out. They go on here first up. Mark Zara's been the key to his best form. He's never missed.
With him, he should be running up to his best.
11 Switzerland is the latest of the Coolmore Stud Stakes winners for Chris Waller, who returns to make a tilt at Group 1 Wait for Age Open Company.
Plenty of intent first up. The Coolmore win rated highly. Look, if he can reproduce that sort of effort here and win the race, he could take the mantle as Australia's top sprinter. And gee, he looks well, Amy.
High liquidity, very well back race overall. Switzerland into $2.45 now, and easily your favourite in this one. Growing Empire, $3.60 into $3.50. Traffic Warden, Liam O'Keefe's better bet of this race earlier on in the day, the track manager, so you can read into that what you will. $6.50 out to $8.50, but is Benedetta also $15 into $8.50 there. Skybird further down the page. If you're looking for one at much longer odds, double figures, $34 into $27, but some good
speed.
Oh, Robbie, hey, who would you like to be riding?
I'd like to be riding Switzerland, but I'm going to give it a little tip on Mazu there at the price now that track's deteriorating.
Yeah, that's right.
Ready, racing in the Lightning. Joyful Fortune scrambled away. Growing Empire jumped quickly with Switzerland, the two favourites. Just about 1-2, but Way to the Stars claims them. Then Joyful Fortune, Benedetta, Mazu up the outside, also showing lick after 250. Way to the Stars in front of Mazu, and they were followed by Growing Empire, Switzerland, and Philosopher. Joyful Fortune behind them, followed by Stretton Angel, Benedetta, Traffic Warden, and Skybird is at the end of the field. 550 out. The leader is Mazu from Way to the Stars. A length and a half to Switzerland, coiled up behind them with Growing Empire. Further back is Philosopher, deeper with Stretton Angel, then Joyful Fortune. Benedetta's about 4 off the front, and behind those horses then is Skybird, who's trying to get through. It's Way to the Stars, joined by Growing Empire. Stretton Angel the outside, Benedetta coming on, or Growing Empire's running all over the place, and Skybird dropped on them, drove through from last. Race is clear, a spectacular win. Skybird, three-quarters Stretton Angel, photo third, Benedetta or Switzerland. Traffic Warden behind them, followed by Mazu, Growing Empire. Further back, Way to the Stars, Philosopher, and Joyful Fortune.
Stop it. I see it. I just don't believe it. The three-year-olds were expected to dominate, and it's Skybird who wins a Group 1 over 1,000, defeating another mare in Stretton Angel. Bubbles Flemington. Mitch Friedman has pulled off a coup to win this Group 1.
Amazing scenes here, and sometimes it...
Mitch Friedman pulled off quite the heist for his first Group 1 with attrition. an upset winner of a Toorak a couple of springs ago, and now Skybird gives him a second Group 1 in his training career and becomes the longest price winner of a Black Caviar Lightning in the 71 editions of the race. We thought at the start of the day we had 2020. Can you believe it? A slow time given the conditions too. 59.05 in the Black Caviar Lightning. 11. The mares have gone 1, 2, 3. John Allen, unbelievable performance. He's with Charlotte.
Johnny Allen, did you expect that?
Probably not. Look, I was expecting her to run well, but I've not a lot. Following Switzerland, halfway up the straight, and I said, geez, I was going to stay on his back and try and follow him through, but I was going that easy. I had to just come off and try and find my own path, and yeah, look, she quickened up and put the race to bed very quickly. To be honest, from about the halfways, she just felt like she couldn't get beat, to be honest.
I don't think I've ever seen you smile so big. That is a huge race to win.
It's been hot for 2 months. It feels like it hasn't dropped below 30 degrees for 2 months, and just a freakish cold day yesterday have all contributed to that time. But stunning win from Skybird. And yeah, I was in the mounting yard yesterday. We didn't miss a yard. We barely got rained on in any of them. But as soon as we'd come out of the yard and the horses went out on the track, it seemed to pour down for about the first 4 or 5 races.
Courage comes in many forms. The westerly breeze, talk us through I guess the conditions and how you got to manage your horse when you're effectively riding into a cold hairdryer.
Well, it's usually the horse that had that sort of run yesterday that Skybird had, the one with the cover for the longest, that can just, get that cover from the wind and then just pop out and have the last crack in those conditions is the best suited, and she certainly was yesterday. Often
to Switzerland caught up behind them with Growing Empire. Further back is Philosopher, deeper with Stretton Angel, then Joyful Fortune. Benedetta's about 4 off the front, and behind those horses then is Skybird, who's trying to get through its way to the stars, joined by Growing Empire. Stretton Angel the outside, Benedetta coming on, or Growing Empire's running all over the place, and Skybird dropped on them, drove through from last, races clear, a spectacular win. Skybird, 3/4 Stretton Angel, photo third, Benedetta or
A 20th Group 1 for jockey John Allen, a second for trainer Mitch Freedman to go alongside the triumph with attrition.
Yeah, definitely on the agenda. She was quite sore after the race, sort of as she cooled down. Walking out to the truck, she got better as she went out there. So yeah, we'll just go through our checks and measures over the next few days and work out what we're doing. She seems...
take us through that. You're in a spot there that you usually like to stand when you're watching your horses run at Flemington.
Yeah, just about pulled down half the rail in the home straight there. But, look, why not enjoy it? I mean, it's that hard to get to this level, and it's that hard to get a horse to perform in those races. I just like to enjoy it, and certainly so.
Build-up going in was about the three-year-old colts. Instead, it's the 3 mares who go 1, 2, 3, and that's, of course, remembering that IME was a race day scratching, and she was expected to be, if there was...
End of this season as a little bit of an outlier in terms of, there were unique conditions with the soft 7 and the headwind. So I'm not going to be too harsh on some of those horses that didn't run to their absolute best. Stretton Angel was fantastic. Benedetta was fantastic. Skybird was obviously electric. Her sectionals in relation to the rest of the field match up with the visual. But the mares were all great. They're all going to be even better suited, you'd think, in a Newmarket. But I don't know if it's a race you want to put the pen through anything.
Yeah, I think the conditions really set the result of the race. I think Switzerland was, you could forgive him, he was buffeted in between Philosopher and Growing Empire. They were all sort of looking to get cover, and he didn't look comfortable getting crowded there. I think it's a mistake with the blinkers on Growing Empire. I think he raced too keen early. He couldn't get cover. I think he's better without the blinkers. And
Into $3.80 now, 18 cents worth of deductions through this from $4.80 most recently, though. 6 into 5 out from Desirable Stakes.
Comes up towards the home corner at the 650 from Captured by Love, another profit third. 2 down to Discreet the inside. Silla Cap easing 3 wide, sneaking Sneaky Sunrise in the middle of the pack from Macedon Rose, and she nailed it. Husk around the corner, sprints up at the 450, captured by Love a length away. Then came another Profit, 3 off the front. Behind those horses, Sneaky Sunrise and Silicap trying to wind up wider. So the leader is Husk as they reach the 200, captured by Love, making an indent. Here's Silicap on the outside, coming on, but it's on one rein. Still Husk in front of Silicap. Sneaky Sunrise at the 50. Husk on the outside. Silicap is coming now. Husk and Silicap, they go to it. It's a photo finish, but it'll be the winner, Silicap. Silicap from Husk and Sneaky Sunrise, captured by Love behind those, followed then by Macedon Rose, another Profit, 2 down Discreet.
Green, the wife of...
Product of going through the grades, coming back this preparation, being looked after. Interesting race because...
she's lugged in. I love these horses that are on the way through, still doing things wrong.
Yeah, right. It was a great ride by Willow. He managed to get in a good spot from a wide draw, and she looked to be struggling that transition off a slow pace on the soft ground coming around the bend, but Willow persisted, and her class got her there in the end, and it was great to see her get up for the win for Greenie.
Rowan Hughes putting on the agenda post-race Asian Oaks is a longer range. Post-race that an Australasian Oaks is a longer range target.
One such, there is the Hong Kong hero, the romantic warrior against the Japanese dirt samurai, Forever Young, and multiple other nights in reality. Richard Hoyles with the Saudi Cup.
For the Saudi Cup, a little bit slow away, Ushbatazoro, and early on it is Walk of Stars who moves forward. Romantic Warrior jumped well and just moves off the rail to get some clear daylight and avoid the kickback, looking for Forever Young, who's broken well and is right across the field as well. Al Musmak is racing in a hand in the inside of Wait to Excel, then Ramjet wider out to the white cap of El Código. Factor Cheval is at the back of that leading group on the outside of Wilson Tesoro. Then behind those is Intense for Me, still a gap back to Wood and Sun, Rattle and Roll well back, and Ushbar Tesoro as Romantic Warrior moves off the running rail as they approach the bend. So out in the lead, Forever Young on the outside, disputing it with Walk of Stars. Right round the outside, Romantic Warrior will be 5 wide into the turn, but he's poised under James McDonald as the big 2 move through. Forever Young, Romantic Warrior sweeps up on the outside for Hong Kong. They lock horns, and it's Romantic Warrior who finds most initially from Forever Young in second place. The 2 of them are clear from Wilson Tesoro and Factor Cheval, 2 of the great racehorses in the world. And at the moment, Romantic Warrior holds sway. His rider looks across. Forever Young is trying to close, and he's beginning to do so. Romantic Warrior from the outside. Forever Young has got to within 3 parts of a length. Romantic Warrior, Forever Young, a race for the ages, and Forever Young rounds off a terrific night for Japan. Runs down Romantic Warrior and breaks Hong Kong hearts. Back in third place.
My lord, that is one of the most heart-rending defeats for a Hong Kong horse you've ever seen.
And that is one of the most amazing victories for a Japanese runner. So let's start with the winner.
Absolutely.
And then we'll deal with the loser.
It's a mighty, mighty performance from both horses, because Ushbar Tesoro is a high-quality international globe-trotting horse, and he has been
that will go down in history as one of the greatest races, I'm sure.
James McDonald looked at the screen multiple times and he saw
off at the 1400, he was second away. Karying Rising, California Spangle beat him out. Invincible Sage will make a line of 3. Red Lions running 4th, Helios Express 5th, and How Deep Is Your Love is on the inside. Then Patch of Theta, Beauty Eternal and Mugens, 2.5 lengths away last of all. California Spangle is going to hold out Karying Rising. Invincible Sage is running 3rd and 3 lengths to Red Lion 4th. 2 lengths to Helios Express around How Deep Is Your Love from Patch of Theta. Beauty Eternal second last on the inside, and Mugen, he's a length and a half away last of all. California Spangle at a slow clip, leads half a length. Karying Rising to his outer second, Invincible Sage third, the rail, Red Lion 4th follows the fave. Then the stablemates, How Deep Is Your Love and Helios Express. 3 wide Patch of Theta from Beauty Eternal, and Mugen is last of all. It's California Spangle, 400 metres to go. At his first try at 1,400 metres though, Karying Rising goes up to take the lead off him. Helios Express now 2 lengths away. Then Patch of Theta, it's Karying Rising. Karras has to get busy. He's a length over Helios Express, and then came How Deep Is Your Love. Karying Rising is in front of Helios Express, 1,400 metres. No worries. Kaying Rising wins it from either Helios Express or How Deep Is Your Love.
Exciting, Bruce, into $1.95 now, has been so popular. Our traders are keen to take him on to a certain extent, losing James and where he might find himself in the run with that draw, and particularly given that they've announced that he will go back 12 into $9.50 on his best behaviour today in the yard. Bivarked 19 to 23. Alabama.
Very fairly here today at Rose Hill. Gates are back now. They're off and racing. Wotan jumped about midfield and Gambler flew out. Showing good speed was Bay Whacked, and now the filly Belle Mercy's on the scene going to third, just in front of Wester Swindon. Then Nashville Jack from Alabama Magic. Well back is Brat Summer from Buffalo, and Wotan's in a three-wide position at the rear and improving his position. So Gambler leads for fun. Does it with the ears pricked a long way up by 2 on Bay Whacked, followed by Belle Mercy. Wester Swindon off the fence going to fourth. And the hot favourite Wotan's out 3 wide, working on the outside of Nashville Jack. And then came Alabama Magic around the turn. Well, we'll see how good Wotan is today. It's Gambler in front from Bay Whacked, Wester Swindon behind them. Then Belle Mercy and 2 further back to Wotan. At the 300, and Bay Whacked races to the lead by a length and a half on Wester Swindon. Belle Mercy's not travelling well. Wotan's got it all to do. Bay Whacked, though, inside the 150's got them all struggling. Trying hard, Wester Swindon. Then came Wotan, but Bay Whacked too good. There's a surprise for you. Bay Whacked by 2.5. Wester Swindon second. Boy, Wotan's done some work in the run in third. Buffalo charging home at the end in the fourth. Then came Alabama Magic, Nashville.
In this race, Godolphin with Cylinder a couple of years ago. So the hippo hops on for James Cummings and the team. It was a good win. Thought the favourite ran well, Lizzie, and Richo, he ran well.
Ran the silver slipper yesterday afternoon. We saw a little bit earlier on. He stays as favourite in the Ladbrokes market for the golden slipper. He finished third yesterday behind Bivarked. Adam Hieronymus doing the steering for Godolphin. Second in the Lonhro at the previous start at his second career run. West of Swindon we saw for the first time since running second in the Golden Gift on debut all the way back in November. So the Team Hawkes arsenal continues to build ahead of the golden slipper. Of the slipper favourite, though, what was the assessment out of his third place?
Well, he was wide and had to cover extra ground and do a lot of work before what we saw there. So I think it's safe to say it was certainly an encouraging run towards the golden slipper, but not what you'd want to see if you backed him yesterday.
It was a forgivable run, but I don't know about you guys. You're not rushing out to take $4. It wasn't like he was savaging the line late. Yes, he covered some ground, but I don't know. What do you?
Last preparation in the Golden Rose. This is exactly what we saw from last campaign.
The spring didn't quite.
Good siding here, so he's our best backed and he has about 30% of the hold, but he's now out to 260, so they're dangling the carrot. And best backed is Linebacker. Second elect now, $4. He's in from $5.50, and they're coming for him late. He paraded a treat too. Public attention has been $4.20 out to $4.40, and then
in the Hobartville Stakes. And they're off and racing, and Mayfair began brilliantly and is going to lead rather comfortably early. Public attention zooming across from the outside and will go straight to second. And they're followed by Firm Agreement. Broadsiding pretty handy in fourth and improving its position advance of Aliana than Tenbury Wells. Further back, China Sea. Linebacker's going to settle well back in the field, third last in fact from Just Party, and Swift Falcon last of all. Easy lead for Mayfair, scoots along by 2 on Public Attention. 2 further back to Broadsiding, racing on the outside of Firm Agreement. Aliana gets good cover and certainly tracking the right horse. On the outside of Tenbury Wells, then China Sea from Linebacker, who led when resuming, is back third last here from Just Party, and Swift Falcon just sitting back watching it all unfold. So Mayfair running along at speed, out by 2.5 lengths to Public Attention. Broadsiding inching a little bit closer, then Firm Agreement from Aliana as they come around the turn. And Mayfair being reined along now. Mayfair by 2 on Public Attention, and now Broadsiding being cuddled here by Lloyd and starting to close in the gun colt. Mayfair at the 250. A length in front to Public Attention. Broadsiding claims them now. 3 further back to Swift Falcon charging home. Broadsiding's dashed away though inside the 100 from rattling home Swift Falcon and Aliana, but Broadsiding, the triple Group 1 winning colt, resumes with a great win in the Hobartville, beating Swift Falcon and Aliana. Public Attention fourth. Linebacker rattling home from a mile back. Then Mayfair, Firm Agreement, Just
for the horse himself, Lizzie. We wanted him to win today. We wanted to have this horse starring in the autumn, and he's on the way.
He certainly is, Bruce. Never in doubt. Not one time in the race did he ever look as though he was going to get beaten. I just sometimes...
Has one of the more glittering honour rolls for Group 2. Even in recent years, Celestial Legend last year winning it, going on to take out a Doncaster. Animo won this for Godolphin a couple of years ago. The Autumn Sun, Kementari. I could go on. Broadsiding looks every bit of some of those gallopers, and he has the Randwick Guineas at his mercy on what we saw yesterday.
I think it was an important win for Godolphin and Broadsiding. James Cummings spoke about that significance post-race, said he had him pretty ready to go there yesterday, so I think they're glad to see him bounce back after he was below par in the Champions Mile. Understandably, probably the Cox Plate took a bit out of him, but good to see him bounce back. How about the run of the second horse?
Swift Falcon.
Some sort of a run. Heading towards a Randwick Guineas and probably a Rose Hill Guineas over 2,000 metres, and didn't mind Linebacker. He's got to come out and actually do it, but he was a long way off them, and he was good through the line.
Aliana looked good.
Yeah, both Aliana and Swift Falcon, great returns. I thought the winner was able to capitalise on a perfect run, and, you know, I don't think there was too much between him and the second and third horses, so it's going to be some great races coming up with those three, I think.
Big Dave.
Stopping anytime soon. So that means Shanwa's your new favourite here. This has been a fascinating market move here. You can see
Racing and Emphasise was one of the better ones away, with Imperialist and also Cicchetti on the inside, sorting out their early length. Confetti Garden second, Shanwa is third, 3 wide at the moment, although Imperialist is one off the fence behind it, and Shanwa's going to push forward here on the outside and get to the girth of Emphasise as they reach, and kicked clear about 2 lengths to Shanwa, who wants the slipstream. Confetti Garden third outside of Cicchetti, then Imperialist. Emphasise pulled its way clear with a bit of a buffer, about 2.5 lengths in front of Shanwa, who's happy to do the chasing work at the moment. 2 1/4 Confetti Garden and Cicchetti at the 500 metres. Behind those horses, Imperialist entrusting under pressure, and then came Scary. So it's Emphasise approaching the corner, clicked up now at the 400 metres. Shanwa, its main threat, peeled off its back now. They were followed by Confetti Garden. Cicchetti whacks away, then Imperialist. Shanwa claims Emphasise early in the straight under hands and heels and got away. Imperialist, Confetti Garden. It's Shanwa, 100 metres to go, forging on, 2 lengths in front, and it's Shanwa. Shanwa, a nice winner. Head bob a second, Confetti Garden or Imperialist, who ran off the track after the line and dumped the jockey. Emphasise and Scary behind those. Followed.
Work a bit, didn't he? Just had to work a bit early. He was very confident, and he put them away comfortably. Kiramar was...
I love this ride from Blake Shinn. I didn't mind. I thought Craig Williams had to do something aboard Emphasise, and I like the fact he was positive. He tried to maybe turn it into a staying contest because he was on a horse that was a good stayer. But Blake Shinn, this was a brilliant ride. When there was no pressure early, he went forward and got up outside of Emphasise. When Craig made the move down the side into the northerly, Blake just got that slipstream, and then he popped out at the exact right time. He couldn't have ridden this horse better, and he's a progressive. How often do we see that?
Keen, they're jumping out of trees at Sportsbet to get around the Oaks champion, and that is Treasure the Moment, all the way down to $2.70, if you don't mind. Have a look at that. It's been a sustained go. I guess when you see an Oaks winner resuming, you're thinking, well, 1400 traffic. All about Treasure the Moment here. $2.70, Damian Lane to take the ride here in the Group 2 race for the Fillies.
And they're racing. Benazil, a touch slow, perfect picture. Qatar's Choice going out the back, beginning well as expected. 2 down, Lizzie to lead Immortal Star. Treasure the Moment's nice and close, and Jenny the Fox the rails. 2 lengths Actuality, perfect picture. Qatar's Choice and Benazil is last. 2 down, Lizzie is the leader. 1,000 metres to go to the side by 1 1/4. Treasure the Moment. Jenny the Fox is third, and fourth Immortal Star. They were followed by Actuality, who's thrashing their head about. Further back along the inside, perfect picture. 2 lengths Qatar's Choice last, Benazil. 2 down, Lizzie into the wind at the 800 metres, leading out by 1 1/2. Treasure the Moment second, third is Jenny the Fox, 1 1/2 Immortal Star. A gap to perfect picture, Actuality, and then Qatar's Choice and Benazil as they approach the 600 metres in the Armanasco. 2 down, Lizzie, coiled up in front by 3/4 length. In second, Treasure the Moment, getting closer before the corner. Jenny the Fox behind them, Immortal Star tips out 3 wide, Actuality 4 deep. Lizzie. Perfect Pictures run up behind them, needing it out from Benazil. Qatar's Choice. 2 down Lizzie at the 250. Treasure the Moment's asking the real question now. Let's down and took the front. Jenny the Fox to the inside from Perfect Picture. Treasure the Moment at the 150 has drawn away 2 lengths in front of Jenny the Fox, running out of her skin, but Treasure the Moment, he's down 1 by a length. That's class. Jenny the Fox second, third 2 down Lizzie, then Perfect Picture. Qatar's reality.
She's a star. She's won 5 straight, including that Wakeful Oaks double. Great that for Matt Lowry, he's got himself a really serious horse. She's absolutely bright.
The Moment looks the latter, and that was quite the return of the Armanasco yesterday. That doesn't have a recent history of horses winning this race fresh.
She's a gun, this filly, and she can overcome draws, puts herself in a good position. She's tractable, versatile. Like you said, first up was able to sit outside the lead there into that headwind. I know we keep harping on about the headwind, but it averaged around 30 k's there yesterday, so it was a factor. Horses were still be able to sit in it and win, but some weren't either. You know, look at Grinzinger Bell. She led first up and she capitulated. This filly sat outside the lead, carried the weight penalty for winning the Oaks there yesterday, and was still able to win. She just keeps doing it.
She was just way too good for them. She's just a class above. So, you know...
she's doing, which is tremendously exciting.
Yeah, I reckon she'll be a lovely Empire Rose filly, a mile at Flemington in the spring. I reckon that'd be a great race for her, I reckon.
And we are getting ready for the Futurity, an opportunity to see one bona fide champ who I'm convinced, on the back of what Bruce has been talking...
Blue Diamond aboard her.
Well, he just knows what it takes to win a Group 1. He's won 8 of them, and he's been in these battles 24 times. So a quarter of a century today, and he joins absolute greats. Have a look. Time and time again. And Bruce, well, he would take the mantle as the #1 at Lindsay Park, Group 1.
He would, Richo.
$16.5 million in prize money he's earned. He's a gun second up. He's a gun at Caulfield at 1400.
Against the contenders, he's $1.70, been well backed. So I Wish I Win. Basically, since we've been made aware that he's definitely going to start, he's been out the gate. Have a look at the price about I Wish I Win, $7. And then you've got the Godolphin pair, Pericles from the inside draw. He'll settle close to the speed, $10. And Tom Kitten, Richo referenced the trials. They were sensational. He can go well fresh as well, $10. He's getting better and better. The Kitten, $15. But it is all about Mr. Brightside. $1.95 into $1.70. They've got a
127th running, and they're racing, and Super Smink was a touch slow. Beginning well was Freedom Rally and also Private Life the outside. Mr. Brightside is also charging up. Private Life is the leader from Mr. Brightside. Freedom Rally got the trail. Pericles fourth, the inner. They were followed by Evaporate, I Wish I Win between horses. Tom Kitten the inside. Super Smink is on a limb. Pinstriped is second last, and at the end is Light Infantry Man. 950 metres to go. Private Life in front, steadied 3/4 Mr. Brightside. A length and a half Evaporate, who's 3 wide. Freedom Rally the centre, and Pericles fifth on the rails at the 750. A length and a quarter Super Smink, and then came I Wish I Win, Tom Kitten. Second last is Pinstriped, and Light Infantry Man is at the end of the field. 600 to go. Private Life in front from Mr. Brightside. Then came Evaporate out 3 deep. A length and a quarter Pericles needing it out from Freedom Rally. Super Smink is stoked into the race, about 3 off the front. I Wish I Wins on its back. Tom Kitten a long way back, and then Pinstripe. Mr. Brightside goes to the front from Private Life. Evaporate, then Pericles behind those. Freedom Rally next in the field out wide. I Wish I Win. Mr. Brightside went for home. 200 metres to go. 2 lengths Evaporate. I Wish I Win. It's Mr. Brightside. He's opened up his eyes. He's just in front, and he wins. Mr. Brightside has just won. They were coming. Tom Kitten and I Wish I Win charging, but they haven't got him. A 9th Group 1. Behind those horses then Evaporate and also Freedom Rally. Behind those horses Pinstripe, Light Infantry Man, Pericles, Super Smink and Private Life at the end.
What a horse he is. What a race it was. He had to be everything we know that he is. I mentioned Manicato back-to-back. Nicanero, of course, for David Hayes in 08 and 09. So it's a Hayes again. Lizzie got desperate late, but he likes desperate, Mr. V. And he put that big nose out and wins a night. Good is that.
Oh, he just is always there for the fight, Bruce. You could see that Tom Kitten was everyone on course. There's even patrons with tears in their eyes, seeing how tough and gallant he is. just an incredible experience to see this horse win 9 Group 1s, and the scenes...
He has launched late, and his date with an open age Group 1 awaits, and I Wish I Win put the dilemmas and the concerns about the Good 3 surface to one side. He's made a cracking return to run third and once again breathed down the neck of Mr. B. The Futurity we hoped for, we got all that and more, and it very much sets the table for the Blue Diamond and the Oakleigh Plate. Evaporate losers, no admirers as well, sitting 3 wide and holding on for fourth. 1-4-2-11. It's Mr. B back-to-back in the Futurity.
Yeah, and he was clearly the best of the on-pace runners, but what a race that was, and what a preliminary for the All-Star Mile, because you would think...
25th Group 1 start, he wins his 9th top-level affair, his 2nd victory in a Futurity. He becomes the first horse since Galaccioli in 93 and 95 to win multiple Futurities at 1,400 metres. He is a superstar.
Oh, isn't he? He was so brave there, sitting outside the lead into that win there yesterday. Tom Kitten always, you know, he looked the danger. He tried so well, but the thing was he was always probably going to be 3-back defence, so he's going to be relying on luck. He got a bit of luck, probably didn't open up as soon as they would have liked, but, you know, he was smothered up and he launched late, and I Wish I Win was great too, you know. It was a great finish, but I think Mr. B doing all the work outside the lead, he was the deserved winner.
I feel like there's always so much scrutiny on
previous preparation. He's jumped well his last 2, and you know, Craig, you know, he dared the others to beat him last time out. This 2 starts this preparation, and they weren't good enough. So he worked into the wind, as Ollie said, and he was good. I thought I Wish I Win was terrific. He made that wider run, which was not easy to do on the day, and the runner-up, Tom Kitten, was very hard to miss. He'll head to an All-Star Mile, we've heard now, and you'd think would be a legitimate contender there with Mr. Brightside.
So we got the upgrade, and we were just expecting that I Wish I Win was going to be almost the first ticket out of the barrel in regards to scratchings, but it's great that they ran him and that he was able to perform as such.
Yeah, hopefully we hear he pulls up well. And Quinny, you'd be wrapped. You've brokered the big money deal with the off the feedback they've got from the riders.
Is Tom Kitten the next Cascadian?
He's a similar type of horse, isn't he? He sort of likes a cold run, come late, needs a few things going his way. You know, you'd have to think Flemington would really suit him. The All-Star Miles there this year, and backing up into the Australian Cup, they did that with Cascadian. So, you know, I'm not sure if they're going that path, but there's a fair chance he could.
Well, they're going to have a bit to weigh up because you got a Doncaster in the mix as well. He ran really well in an Epsom. Yeah, I'm fascinated to see what they do.
I'd love to see him at Flemington, both an All-Star Mile and an Australian Cup. Have a look from an Australian Cup perspective out wide on the track. Light infantryman. Now, he was off a freshen up back to 1,400, having won the Group 1 in Perth over 1,800. I thought that was a terrific Australian Cup trial from him. He's probably not sharp enough to beat these horses in All-Star Mile, but he's done well from an Australian Cup point of view. Guys, we've got Mr. Brightside, another Will, and Tom Kitten, the 3 heading there. It looks like VS16, a Fangirl, won't. A Tissue will go there, and we've just heard from Quinny, I Wish I Win won't head there. So, say is...
The Sportsbet Blue Diamond Stakes, and at the top of the market is Field of Play for Trent Busselton and Natalie Young. It's been the best back runner in this race as well. Best at double figure odds is the 5 Devil Knight, which wasn't far away from the favourite Field of Play.
It's taken some time to reveal itself. Field of Play, you can see 480 into 420. Cherish Me's the one. I think punters are scared to take this galloper on off that strange-ish preparation. $6 a Sportsbet Blue Diamond Stakes.
The Blue Diamond, they're ready. Set and away they go. Tentris away fairly, Field of Play away pretty well. Miss Celine began smartly with Wiltshire Square the outside, and the Playwright's also zipping through. So it's the Playwright onto the course proper at the 1,000 metres from Devil Knight, and also Miss Celine. Next along the inside, Palm Angel, Field of Play on a ton. Then Wiltshire Square. Next, My Gladiola, Cherish Me, and next on the rails, Tentris. Further back in the field, Tycoon Star, Tempted, Extractor, and then came Eden Rose, and Autumn Mystery as last. The Playwright led 600 metres from home from Devil Knight, a length and 3/4 on a ton. Field of Players right there, 4th in between horses. They were followed by Palm Angel, Miss Celine deeper from My Gladiola, 5 off the front. Behind them, Cherish Me, Temptress, and then came Wiltshire Square. Back in the field then, Eden Rose, Extractor, and Tycoon Star. It's the Playwright with Devil Knight on the outside as they reach the 300 metres, 2 lengths Palm Angel. Field of Play up the outside, My Gladiola and Tycoon Star from along long way back. Devil Knight below the 200 metres in front. Drew a length in front of Tentris and Tycoon Star. Devil Knight 3/4. Tentris is going to put in a lunge again, but missed this time. Devil Knight from Tentris, Tycoon Star. They were followed by the Playwright for the backfield of play. Eden Rose behind those horses. Then My Gladiola, Tempted, Cherish Me, Autumn Mystery Extractor, and at the tail of
a stunning training performance from Team Hawks, who know Michael D becomes a two-time Blue Diamond winner after saluting on Little Brose a couple of years ago, and Devil Knight becomes the first winner of this race to be sired by a former Diamond winner, Extreme Choice. His dad won it in 2016, the last to be sired by a previous winner, Nadeem, back in 2006. His father, of course, the great Redoute.
With a second starter emerging from the Prelude, which has produced the winner the last 4 years.
Yeah, I'm interested to see how that form works out. I still think the two-year-old form's a little bit unexposed, and I still think there's more to come. So, you know, the Diamond is often a good form reference because it's a high-pressure, bigger field two-year-old race, and I'm looking forward to see how it unfolds over the next 3 or 4
stakes as Devil Knight becomes the first winner of the two-year-old classic in Victoria to be sired by a previous winner. He, of course, the son of Extreme Choice, has just thrown a Blue Diamond and a Melbourne Cup winner in the same season, if you don't mind. Of course, Extreme Choice winning the race in 2016. The most recent winner of a previous Blue Diamond winner being Nadeem back in 2006. He was a son of the great Redoute's Choice, and that loop is closed, Benny, because Redoute's Choice is the last winner of this race at his second career start.
Yeah, it's amazing how that's worked out. So you'll see him outside the lead here. What I thought was significant from the chopper shot there was showing outside lead, Tentris on the fence. You had also in the finish the $301 outsider gets into fifth coming up the fence. So it was a race really dominated by those lanes closer to the fence. Those horses getting out and running on. Bar Tycoon Star didn't do a lot, and I thought Tycoon Star was just about the run of the race. It was a fantastic effort. He just peaked on his run, having so much work to do, but great training performance from Team Hawks. Second start gets the victory.
Tentris and Tycoon Star. Devil Knight 3/4. Tentris is going to put in a lunge again, but missed this time. Devil Knight from Tentris, Tycoon Star.
So its second start, Devil Knight takes out the Group 1 Blue Diamond, a first Group 1 for Migrate to Sydney ahead of a slipper. It feels as open as it's ever been.
Yeah, I think it's as open a year as I can remember. There's just no standouts at all. I think Devil Knight earlier. I thought Tycoon.
Third horse was probably the run of the race. I thought My Gladi...
1,000-metre gallop.
Woden, as you can see, they're still a clear favourite for the Golden Slipper. We'll have a look at his third place in the Silver Slipper yesterday at the back end.
The Oakleigh Plate, it's one of my favourite races of the year, and She's Bulletproof has been really well supported right through the week. She's into $5 now and is your favourite. Estriella was put up favourite at 40. Just tries his hard out. Returned to winner last start. 7 Jimmy Star. He flew home first up there last campaign over the 1100. $8 and
I think off a good tempo, he can accelerate like others can't. And I think he's the starting point for me, Jimmy Star. I think he...
That horse, so 2 from 2 here at Caulfield. She's Bulletproof has been the favourite for the past 2 days. Now just has to share that mantle with Estriella. The stablemate to Estriella is I Am Me. Saved for this race is Dynamic. Shorter than that now at $8. Jimmy Star, does he want further? He's an absolute demon fresh up as well. He draws nicely to come down the middle of the track. 12 into $8. And Arabian Summer down in the weights. Dude, we gave $. Jamie Malum takes the ride. And as you mentioned, Sands, dude, we gave you 60, 70, 80. Well, the market has spoken into $46 on the...
Ready, and they're racing. Estriella from the centre gate away moderately. Arabian Summer away pretty well with Ashford Street and also Insurrection, and Golden Boom ridden for speed after the first 200 metres. It's Insurrection, Golden Boom, and they were followed by Hard to Say, Ashford Street and Sharippa the inside from Arabian Summer. Next in the field is Espionage, and then came along the inside I Am Me from Ray Magnerio. A length and a half Prairie Flower, Estriella, and well back She's Bulletproof. Further back between horses Headwall, and they're 2 lengths of Straka, with also well back in the field coming up towards the home corner, Jimmy Star, and back with it is Sons Doot. So it's Golden Boom around the turn at the 450 from Insurrection, tightened up on the inside. Then came Ashford Street. Arabian Summers presenting up the middle of the course. Then Ray Magnerio. For the back is I Am Me, and then She's Bulletproof. Arabian Summer went to the front, 150 metres to go. Ray Magnerio and She's Bulletproof, and Jimmy Star are coming hard. She's Bulletproof, and Jimmy over the top has dropped from the sky to win from She's Bulletproof, and then Ray Magnerio, Headwall, and behind those horses Espionage, Sharippa, Arabian Summer, Prairie Flower. Back behind those horses then was Ashford Street, Golden Boom.
Absolutely dynamite first up. I thought for about 50 metres, Lizzie, that it was going to be that fairy tale. Well, it is a fairy tale because it was Jimmy Star with a flashing run in these famous colours over Shanusham, and Kieran Barr, the winning trainer there, knowing right now, yep, I've got another one, 50 plus. How good's that?
First up as the race for Jimmy Star. He went to the Rupert Clark at the tail end of his spring campaign, but he's quite the coiled spring. And Kieran Maher's got his second win in the Oakleigh Plate after the success. But Jimmy Star is to the fore, and he has denied Charlotte Littlefield her Group 1 dream. She's Bulletproof. The mare hit the front, but Jimmy Star had come off her back and nabs her.
Give her room. Yeah, that's exactly. Come on. Oh God, this is a horrible one. Come on, Trey. Good girl, well done. How do you go? Yeah.
How good. Charlotte Littlefield, such a valued member of the Racing.com family, and for a brief moment I think we all thought she was about to become a Group 1 winning trainer yesterday during the Oakleigh Plate. Jimmy Star, with his blinding turn of foot, had something else to say, but that's such fantastic access.
Yeah, I love seeing that, and this was a terrific race. And look, there had been talk about Jimmy Star going to a Doncaster. Another one of our team, and I'm going to give him some credit, Trav Noonan's been saying for a good couple of years that this horse is a sprinter, and I think he's absolutely spot on. He's so brilliant first up. Now, is it because he's just a fresh horse, or is it because he's just an exceptional sprinter with a big turn of foot? And that's Arabian Summer's done a good job. Wide on speed, hits the front. Ray Magnerio, as usual, doesn't know how to run a bad race. And then you had She's Bulletproof for a stride or two looking the winner, but Jimmy Star down the outside, unleashing that blinding turn of foot.
Went to the front, 150 metres to go. Ray Magnerio and She's Bulletproof, and Jimmy Star are coming hard. She's Bulletproof with Jimmy over the top. Has dropped from the sky to win from She's Bulletproof.
Saw the sectionals bottom of screen. So he had the fastest 4 to the 2 of the race, 10-9, and then replicated that to be the only horse sub-11 closing. It's shades of Warham and some of those Oakleigh Plates, Ollie, that kind of defy logic in some respects, where, again,
Generally, there's a lot of speed in it, like there was there yesterday, and he's a perfect horse. When there was a northerly wind blowing, coiled up, he followed a great chance in the race. Beautiful ride by Ethan Brown, following Willow into the race, just came off his back and launched like he can do, this horse, when he's fresh. So, you know, it was a great win, and I tend to agree that I think he is a fresh run-on sprinter-type horse. They've been his most devastating runs, and it
wasn't too bad. It was a big rise in class for him. He's gone OK. Headwall was a terrific run. Harry Coffey, he didn't quite measure up. So, yeah, Jimmy Star, all honours.
Prairie Flower backed up a great run last start too. I thought a little bit unlucky, checkered path on the inside as well. So it's run really.
We're looking at a good Newmarket.
A very open Newmarket as well. I think we probably sat here a few weeks ago and thought it might be dominant.
Is our favourite Shaggy. He's been 220 out to 260, so he's on the drift at this stage. Comedy has been spec'd 550 into 480. He's had some good late support, as has Rivellino, 6 into 5. Our best backed runner here is actually quite.
After this, it's the Group 2 Skyline for the 2-year-olds.
And they're racing. Shaggy jumped well, showing good master. Valedictorian was fast into stride, wide out, and Shaggy goes to join it. Skyhook whipping up goes to third from Quietly Arrogant. And they're followed after a length end away by a length and a half on Shaggy, just ridden with a bit of restraint. Hilliard's pulling his head off in third, then Skyhook Quietly Arrogant. Rivellino moves up three wide to get some cover. Then Algorithmic back on the rails. Peleus is pulling out deep, and Comedy's in the middle of the ruck. They're tightly bunched here. And just in front, Valedictorian from Shaggy. Hillier wide out. Skyhook looking for gaps. There's plenty of room there now. Same can't be said for Quietly Arrogant as Rivellino gets going. So Shaggy popped the question now from Valedictorian. Rivellino hitting the line well. Quietly Arrogant goes back to the rails. It's Valedictorian, Rivellino. They beat off Shaggy. Skyhook and Quietly Arrogant are surging. Quietly Arrogant going after Rivellino. Rivellino, though, has got them covered. Rivellino, a narrow winner of the Skyline. A photo for the miners. Skyhook and Quietly Arrogant. They got to Valedictorian, Shaggy.
Too darn hot. Rivellino is 3 from 3. A few bubbles are burst in and around.
They really went slow those mid stages, but enough for Jason. Got Fangirl a little bit later, and Emma is down with the winning
for the Sweet Embrace for the 2-year-olds.
Well, and we've got a couple of easing favourites here. So Bella Zane is at $4, and Snitzel Miss is also out at that $4.80 quote. So they've both met with some not as much support as we would expect late. Within the Law is actually best backed. So she was $5.50 this morning, now into $5. She's got about a quarter.
Here we go, the running of the Sweet Embrace for the 2-year-old fillies.
Gates are back, they're off and racing. Memo's left well, Wooden Lass handedly out, and going forward in the white cap there is Autumn Blonde. But back to Snitzel Miss, then Price Tag within the Law out deep. Karinska down on the rails. Artistic Venture is the last one. Bellazane takes the lead now, out by 3/4 to Wooden Lass. Facing a touch keen, Open Secret third, then came You're the Choice. Autumn Blonde on a 3-wide path, and Snitzel Lass gets onto her back now. They're followed further back by Memo in the middle of the pack. Deep Affection, the rails within the Law's pretty wide now as they straighten up. Bellazane coming well off the fence. Bellazane by 2 on Wooden Lass. Autumn Blonde, Snitzel Miss winding up on the outside. Open Secret goes back to the rails. It's Bellazane in front by 2. Snitzel Miss is closing in with Autumn Blonde, and within the Law, 4 off them is really starting to let rip. Bellazane still in front. Bellazane with 100 to go, but within the Law's coming fast. Within the Law goes to Bellazane and got up, I think. Within the Law there are nose on the line to Bellazane. Close up Autumn Blonde, Artistic Venture and Snitzel Miss. Rattling.
He's as tough as teak. Bellazane was brave in front, and she might have just held on there with Within the Law. Dives at her on the line. Snitzel for third. It's the outside. It's Within the Law.
It deserved it. It has not been able to draw a gate this entire preparation, Katie. It absolutely deserved that victory. Jason Collett has a notable performance. Lizzie, she got absolutely, I don't know what happened at the start, but oh my goodness, I can't even hear. The owners are going off, and so.
The runs we'll look at is that of Rivellino, who remains undefeated after taking out the Skyline yesterday. Jason Collett is going to have a big decision to make. We'll have a look at the performance of Within the Law in a moment, but this Chris Lee's galloper just simply keeps getting the job done.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Workmanlike performances, coming off the speed, getting the job done. But I feel like every time we're discussing these 2-year-old races, we're talking about the underperforming favourites. And I know looking at the Golden Slipper, it's probably getting more confusing than clearer as the race gets closer.
Within the Law in a moment, but the Colts and Geldings were sort of 0.88 slower overall, but they were home quicker.
Right, OK, well, visually I thought Within the Law looked a little better, and then the times back that up, I think. So from a horse-to-horse perspective, I'd probably lean a little bit to Within the Law. But he's got a big decision to make there, Jace, because obviously there's the stallion side of things with Rivellino as well. If he happened to win the Slipper as a stallion, and if he was to have a bit of incentive to get a service for that stallion, obviously it could be worth a lot of money as well.
I think Bjorn Baker would win Australian Idol if he went on it at the moment, Matty. This is Within the Law, giving him yet another victory. He had 3 yesterday. And she's a beauty.
2M, but she's out the gate. It is absolutely one-way traffic here for Amelia's Jewel with 65% of the hold and building. She's into $1.80 in from 2.30. Alencia on the second line is closest, 4.80 in from 5. Closest, 4.80 in from 5. Elsefina is at
Sing of the Guy Walter Stakes over the 1,400 metres for the mares.
And they're off and racing, and Amelia's Jewel handled the start really well. She races to a length lead out of the gates, and Elsefina is second last and a half length away to Alencia, just coursing wide. Amelia's Jewel hasn't got down to the fence here and whipping around the outside as Sounds of Heaven pretty sharply as Amelia's Jewel. Dark Glitter the rails from Our Gold Hope, and Alencia sitting quietly back at the rear of the field but just sliding into a 3-wide position. Only about 5 lengths covers the field. Amelia's Jewel just in front from Sounds of Heaven. Tashi out wide. Osbred Flirt behind them. Then came Elsefina, followed by French Endeavour. Dark Glitter taking a rails run from Our Gold Hope, and Alencia last hooking to the outside. Amelia's Jewel up the rise, a length in front now to Sounds of Heaven. Tashi, Dark Glitter on the inside. Our Gold Hope needs room. Alencia 5 lengths away running on, but Amelia's Jewel's opened up now inside the 100 metres, and Amelia's Jewel pins the ears back for a big win in the Go Water Stakes. Osbred Flirt second, Tashi third. Our Gold Hope, not much luck there. Then Sounds of Heaven, Alencia deep out, followed by French Endeavour, Elsefina.
Start of a super program, Amelia's Jewel. That was superb. James McDonald took all the honours. But Katie, let's be frank, every other jockey just decided to allow James to totally dictate the race. How dare...
Odds-on favourite, and was sort of ridden accordingly in the Guy Walter Ollie.
Yeah, she was. Over 500 days between her last win and this one. But on paper, there looked no pace in the race. James was very quick to take up the lead and control the race. And, you know, under the set weights and penalties there, she was just too good for that group of mares there yesterday.
Second in the Empire Rose, a couple of seconds in a tramway and a golden pennant through the spring. So you mentioned the
pointing, but it was probably good for her to go back to her own sex and in a suitable race under the weights and penalties to have a kill. And I think those set weights and penalties mares races, or the weight for age mares races, are really going to be to her liking.
And Via Sestina in the Veery Elleegant. Both of them very short in the market, but justifiably so.
Yeah, look, he was pretty...
As we take you into the yard, and I mean, she's got to be a top pick based on what she's done over her last 3 starts. She's put pain to her opposition in the Ming Dynasty, the Flight, her first Group 1 at Randwick, last preparation, then her first up in the Light Fingers.
Yeah. It's $1.25, our favourite Lady Shenandoah, and she has 80% of the hold. The biggest thing, though, is the multis that are running in this. It's just an astronomical amount, guys. This is a huge go. $1.25 she is. Lady of Camelot nearest. She's been 4.80 to 9. 19th third line or more the rest. This is absolutely remarkable. And as Tim Ryan has said...
Group 1 for the 3-year-old fillies. Stand by for a start. And they're racing. Great line out. Dominetta began particularly well, and Lilac pouncing on the lead. Lady of Camelot is right there. Lady Shenandoah is pretty handy to the action, and Lazura goes up the fence with Huss taking hold. Then came more territories from Amelita. Manal out wide, easing back, looking for cover. In advance there of Declease, most of all. So Lilac in front, a neck in front now to Lady of Camelot, and Lady Shenandoah cruising in third position. Lazura on the rails, Dominetta 3 wide. 3/4 of a length into more territories. Further back to Huss, Manal on a 3-wide path, Castagne the fence. Then came Declease Boulevard from Amelita. Island Deck is third last and 3 wide from Powers of Opal. And Idle Flyers last of all. 5.50 to go. Lilac a half in front to Lady of Camelot. 2 lengths away to Lady Shenandoah. Lazuro's holding the fence. Dominator next, followed by more territories. Huss looking to work into the clear. Up the rise, Lilac in front of Lady of Camelot. And now Lady Shenandoah just cruised up on the outside. McDonald gave the Star Filly the cure. And Lady Shenandoah races up on the outside of Lady of Camelot, who's showing plenty of fight. Lady Shenandoah. Lady of Camelot's fighting hard. Lady Shenandoah push right out and wins the surround. Lady Shenandoah from a brave Lady of Camelot. Good margin back. I think Lazura third in front of Manal, then Lilac, Declease Boulevard late. Further back to
He's just simply too good for them. Lady of Camelot, who was third up, the little edge in fitness, really put it to her. The Golden Slipper champ
is just a weapon, isn't she? She was afforded a beautiful ride from James McDonald. It all worked out quite well for him. I know that he...
Olds. Lady Shenandoah and Lady of Camelot put the mouthguards in at the 300-metre mark, and this was a sensational edition of the Surround. The Flight Stakes winner prevails, and they have run sizzling time, 1:20.56, about 0.75 taken off the race record, and about 0.2 outside Trapeze Artists' track record across the Randwick 1,400 metres. What a sensational duel. The interesting thing coming out of the race is Lady Shenandoah is right now the nominal favourite for the Doncaster, but unlikely to head there. We might have a rematch of these two in the Cornwall Classic.
And I think it was the runner-up I feel better about going forward after yesterday's run, because I think we saw what happened first up and we just thought, well, going up in trip and second up, then Lady Shenandoah was just going to absolutely win that for fun, and the betting indicated that. But Lady of Camelot probably has more upside over ground than we probably thought going into yesterday.
No, I don't like her past 1,400. I think...
Well, to 1,400 then.
Up to 14. That was 14, wasn't it?
Yeah, and she's got beaten a nose by the best filly in the country.
Yeah, she's not going to get any better over a mile. The winner is going to get better over a mile. The second horse, I think that's probably her optimum distance.
But did you think she'd run a strong 14 like that going to yesterday?
It was questionable. She really made the winner dig deep, no doubt about that. But I think going out to a mile, the winner's only going to get better.
I feel like these two have spent much...
Stakes. Of course, this to be stakes. Of course, this to be contested over the famous Randwick Mile, and it's a race.
8 years it was known as the Chipping Norton Stakes, before changing to the Veery Elleegant Stakes in honour of the 11-time Group 1 winning mare, who won the race twice.
She's brave! Nod and Winks have both taken out this race 4 times. It's a race for great horses, formerly the Chippy Norton Stakes, and very aptly named the Veery Elleegant Stakes. Of course, Jay
$35,000 purchase, but here's the champ, Via Sistina.
And she's a superstar, isn't she? Not only of Australian racing, but of world racing. This week announced as one of the top 10 horses in the world, with world rankings up to the... And you would imagine that to the mile today, Fangirl and her are more evenly placed, but she has definitely got class on her side.
Yeah, it's just...
Hey, the Veery Elleegant, Ali.
Well, Em, it's been a tricky old day for our traders, to say the least. And with over 70% of the hold here, it's looking like it could get worse. Via Sistina is our $1.55 favourite. And the biggest thing to note about her is that the damage is in the multi-roll, which is into the 7 figures. And she is the last leg. Fangirl on the second line has been $2.80 out to $3.20. Then it's 12s for...
Ready now. And they're off and racing, and Arapaho bounced out well. So did Lindemann the outside, and Golden Path quickly accelerating. They're followed by Zararkham, and Via Sistina's rolling forward on the outside of Fangirl. They're followed by Faulkner Park, and Land Legend settles last of all. So Golden Path races to the lead, out by 2 lengths now on Lindemann. Arapaho just eases back, several lengths in front of Zararkham. James McDonald wanted to be in front of Fangirl in the run, so he's got Via Sistina up running 5th, 1 off the fence. A length and a half Faulkner Park. Fangirl is a length and a half there behind Via Sistina. 2 lengths out the back to Land Legend, so about 10 lengths covers the field. Golden Path in front by 2 lengths on Lindemann, similar margin to Arapaho, followed by the French import Zararkham on the inside of the great mare Via Sistina. Length and a half Faulkner Park, Fangirl the other, and Land Legend is back last of all. Golden Path 2 in front of the 600 metres to Lindemann under a quiet ride. Then came Arapaho. Via Sistina starting to inch closer, and already she's peeling 3 wide coming to the bend from Zararkham, and Fangirl is right on the coattails of Via Sistina as they turn. Golden Path in front from Lindemann, then Arapaho. Via Sistina sold up now, and Fangirl going every bit as well on the outside. Down to the 250, Lindemann raced up on the outside of Golden Path. Fangirl and Via Sistina. This is a great finish coming up. Via Sistina's knuckling down, so's Fangirl. Via Sistina, Fangirl, Via Sistina. Brave win, Via Sistina. Won it by a neck on the line to Fangirl, and a head away Lindemann the inside. Then came Arapaho, Faulkner Park, Golden Path, Land.
She's the champ, isn't she? She's back and back in a huge way. A wonderful day. James McDonald, 4 wins, 2 Group 1s for the day. Chris Waller with 2 Group 1s, but this is the one that we just saw why she's one of the highest ranked horses in the world. Waller's trained the trifecta. She was too good.
Yeah, if there's a will...
She went missing. She couldn't run the George Ryder. And Lindemann, he's had a setback as well. So they've all come back and done us very proud.
And made it a 1-2-3 for Chris Waller yesterday in the Veery Elleegant Stakes. He's now won this race 11 times, topping the 10 that the great TJ Smith had. And for the second straight year, it's Fangirl second, Lindemann third. But Veery Elleegant had to work to win this, Ollie.
She did. My big take was that there was, only about 2 lengths covering the first 6. So while she was good, the other 5 around her really pushed her, and it's a lot closer than we think. Her advantage over the rest.
2 lengths between first and 6th.
Lindemann's absolutely flying as well. There's a really nice win this campaign for Lindemann, but I just thought the ride won the race. The fact that J Mac got ahead of Fangirl there with Veery Elleegant, and Veery Elleegant, great to see her back on the winners list. Does she feel slightly less dominant than we saw in the spring, or do you think as we get up in trip, then she'll start to assert herself?
Well, her worst run last prep was second up, and I heard James mention that yesterday. They wanted to get through that second up run, and then she improved out of that. So I think her next run will tell us where she's at.
Lindemann wouldn't look.
She's a star. Veery Elleegant v Romantic Warrior over 2,000 metres. Who would you back?
Whoever James is riding.
I reckon he'd ride Romantic Warrior.
Who would you back?
Romantic Warrior.
Okay.
Fangirl like.
Which certainly helps, but our trader Tim Ryan might not have picked himself up off the floor as yet. We have a new favourite, With Your Blessing, at 370. She's actually not our best back, but she did open 8s and is now into that 370 quote. Best backed here in a really even spread of money is Iona Merck at $4, just out from 370. Gringotts has been 5 into 440. Willado is the...
Light is on. We're ready to go on the Liverpool City Cup. Gringotts is now the favourite. It's been chopping and changing favourites for the last 5 minutes. Golden Mile from Gringotts, Carbling. Late scratching at the gates, give me the beat, boys. So it's With Your Blessing, who's been very well back today. Leading the way for Alicia Collett, out by 3/4 to Willado, is not pushing the issue. Iona Merck gets good cover on the back of the speed inside Radina. Then Gringotts, Golden Mile and Carbling. Coming around the turn, With Your Blessing in front by a half here on Willado. Now Radina being sooled along. Iona Merck will take a rails runner. And a gap back then to Golden Mile and Gringotts. Gringotts about 4 or 5 off the lead. With Your Blessing all out now from Willado. Iona Merck running on well. Gringotts starting to pick up behind them, 2 off the lead. With Your Blessing just in front of Iona Merck. With Your Blessing from Iona Merck. Gringotts late. With Your Blessing. I think it just won. Bob of the head's 3 out, but looks like With Your Blessing has just nosed out Iona Merck, and Gringotts zoom
to run. I think With Your Blessing puts its nose down when it counts, and then right on the line on the inside, Iona Merck makes it really interesting. Katie, we wait.
Yes, just still waiting on the photo. Wow, it was heads down, heads very, very close. It could even be a dead heat moment. That doesn't really tell us. Have we got a number yet?
That looks like Iona Merck on the inside there. I think that's the inside's nose.
That's very close.
3's got it. Iona Merck has got it. Björn Baker gets an incredible 3, if you don't mind.
Yeah, gee, this stable. He had 3 last night at Canterbury too. He's just...
Shadows of the post. 2 of the absolute greats of Australasian. It's got an element of quality about her. Big watch. And the 11 is David, who won it 6 times, the Blamey Stakes, and one of them, of course, the mighty Betaloo.
To this one, the Blamey Stakes, winning you're into the All-Star Mile, and it's an even betting contest. The market's really keen on a couple, Place to Carousel being one of them. We know this mare's got supreme talent, a very good run behind Veery Elleegant the first time we saw her in this part of the world. Stapati is a $4 chance, as Richo alluded to. The horses here at Flemington, and Marble Arch got a very good overall record, 8 wins from 21 starts.
Right, Mark. Yeah.
Who screams.
Right, Claire.
Signal from behind, racing in the Blamey. Zardozi the last out. Just Folk on the inside, ridden with aggression as expected. Will lead with plenty of ammo the outside. Plastic Carousel isn't too far away. Marble Arch out wide, and also Stapati is surging up. So a bit of a contest for the lead here at the 1,300 metres as Stapati is going to sweep across. Just Folk's going to take the trail. Then came on the outside Poison Chalice, and Marble Arch is going to settle 4th one off the fence. 2 lengths to plenty of ammo. Plastic Carousel Carousel, Attrition, Future History and Last Zardozi. So it's Party, 1,000 metres to go is the leader. By a length to Poison Chalice, and then came Just Folk. A length and a quarter Marble Arch, a length and a half Plenty of Ammo, 3/4 Plastic Carousel. Then came Attrition, Future History and Last Zardozi at the 800 metres. So the leader is Party, steadied before the corner from Poison Chalice. Just Folk, Marble Arch. 2 lengths Plenty of Ammo, who's 5 off the lead from Plastic Carousel. Well back in the field, Attrition, Future History and Zardozi sees them all. They run for the money in the Blamey at the 500. It is Party held together from Poison Chalice, and then came Just Folk. Next is Marble Arch, who eased out 3 wide. A gap to Plenty of Ammo, then Plastic Carousel and Attrition, and Zardozi's winding up. It's Party at the 250, joined by the mare Marble Arch. Marble Arch went for home, hands and heels, now shown the whip. A length Party, Poison Chalice, then Zardozi. Marble Arch, 100 metres to go. 2 lengths in front, Attrition from nowhere, but Marble Arch won the Blamey. Second Attrition, third Zardozi from Poison Chalice, then Party, Plenty of Ammo, Future History, Just Folk, and the last to clock in, Plastic Carousel.
Marble Arch, so Plastic Carousel runs last, maybe the last time we see her. She just has not come up in Australia since her first run, but let's concentrate on the winner. And Marble Arch for the Hayes boy into the All-Star Mile.
Terrific. And she's just really improved this preparation. She's been a model of consistency, and a mare in form is a force to be reckoned with.
Isn't it remarkable?
And they have an incredible record this time of year, the Hayes dynasty. They've won the Diamond 10 times. They've now won the Blamey 10. They've had recent dominance through the likes of 50 Stars a couple of times. He went down an Australian Cup path, but Ollie, Marble Arch has sort of just been steadily on the rise. A couple of those recent stakes placings, and just found the right race yesterday. Again, maybe with one, how it played out pace-wise, and where a couple of other runners were in their prep.
Yeah, coming through the grades really well placed with 53 kilos on the minimum. An in-form horse. Some of those horses, you know, like Plastic Carousel, who was really well on at the weights as well, but probably not in her best form. Just had the run of the...
Well, you mentioned Plastic Carousel. The news has been confirmed this morning that she will be retired and obviously go and join the ranks of Yulong's broodmares, and I'm sure we'll be seeing her through...
Yeah, but I think the black booker for the race going towards the Australian Cup was Zardozi. We saw the horse return to form in the autumn, in the spring, I beg your pardon, and was very...
Guineas here at Flemington, and this market has changed quite a bit today, obviously, because the favourite was Angel Capital, scratched this morning. It means Sepples is now the $3.60 favourite, and there's been smart money for it as well. So well-supported fives into $3.60. Point and shoot. That's what Bjorn Baker is just doing at the moment. He's pointing and shooting at everything and winning. $4.80 on the second line. Gold Rush Guru, the Derby winner, $7.50. Seen really good money across the last hour or so. And the Kiwi Raider is Savaglee there at $9.50. Feroce, you'd think he'd improve.
I think he's deserving of favouritism. Maps for a lovely run. I think Feroce can improve getting onto a firmer track. He looks over the odds off his starting price alone.
To his CV as the black armbands are worn here at Flemington in honour of Mike Moroney as the jockeys are getting ready for the Group 1 today, which is the Australian Guineas. And for that young man, desperate for a Group 1.
Most recent performance, point and shoot, dynamic, 2 runs back. Very, very good sprinting horse there over the mile. Gold Rush Guru, the Derby winner, and Savaglee comes over. That form comes from New Zealand, $11 going to be. Sepples will jump your favourite in the Australian Guineas, $3.50 screen, or visit the website.
Well, we mic'd up the Hayes book.
The field is set, ready, and they're racing. Towards the inside, point and shoot away only fairly. In fact, goes back to 4th last. Plymouth jumped quickly with Savaglee and also Stay Focused. From the deep opening addresses showing speed as well. Feroce just behind those horses early. A couple of lengths, Gold Rush Guru, followed by Savour the Dream, Red Aces and Sepples in the middle of the pack. 2 further back, Detroit City and Dola, followed by Point and Shoot, Royal Insignia, Henline and Statuario. Stay Focused, the leader, quite keen in front as they reach the 1,050 by a length and a quarter opening address. 2 lengths to Savaglee, followed by Plymouth, 4th the rails. A length and a quarter for Roche, Savour the Dream, and then came Red Ace 3rd on the outside of Plymouth. They were followed by Feroce and Red Aces, who stoked along under pressure. Next around the turn, Gold Rush Guru, followed by Savour the Dream. Point and Shoots in traffic. Sepples to the outside with Endola. Stay Focused at the 350. Savaglee is moving up on the outside. They were followed by Opening address who wax on. Feroce with a big challenge. Savagli at the 200 metres in front. About a half length in front with an Angel travelling with him. Moving up on the outside. Feroce though. Feroce up to Savagli. Feroce going home better and won the Australian Guineas by 3/4 of a length and a big pose for the photo. Second Savagli. Third in the race was Gold Rush Guru in a photo with Sebbles, followed then by Plymouth. Next in the field, Stay Focused. Opening address, Red Aces. Then came...
Trainer going places, wins his first Group 1, and it's not just any Group 1, it's the Australian Guineas with Feroce, a son of Super Seth, wins for Dominic Sutton. Well done, Dom, out to Australia. He's made Australia his own, given a gun ride from Billy Egan, and knocks off the fair bulls.
There's Craig McRae, Collingwood Premiership coach, arm in arm with MRC Chairman John Kanga. They're of the ownership of an Australian Guineas winner, Feroce, who was just touched off at Caulfield in October when Private Life denied him in the shadows of the post. And Billy Egan went so close to winning his first Group 1 in this race 4 years ago. And the other man who's now got his first Group 1 under his belt is a rising star in the training ranks, Dom Sutton. We'll chat to him in a moment. He's
Feroce, Ollie, just denied in the Caulfield Guineas. What did you see in the early stages from Billy Egan's ride that set up the win?
Very positive ride from Billy, coming from a gate 11. I think it was a little bit awkward, pushed forward and managed to just get into the perfect spot, I felt, for a truly run mile, just in that, you know, that catbird sort of chasing position. I just felt that was what won the race. He was able to just really get in a dominant position, get on the back of the Kiwi there, Savagli, and...
Focused at the 350. Savagli is moving up on the outside. They were followed by Opening address who wax on. Feroce with a big challenge. Savagli at the 200 metres in front. About a half length in front with an Angel travelling with him. Moving up on the outside, Feroce though. Feroce up to Savagli. Feroce going home better and won the Australian Guineas by 3/4 of a length and a big pose for the photo. Second Savagli.
And 51 weeks after he saddled up, rebadge as his first runner as a trainer. Now, Group 1 winning trainer Dom Sutton joins us.
But I'm sure many punters, after they saw the win yesterday, thought this horse was just touched off in a Caulfield Guineas. Of course. Did he go in as a bit of a forgotten horse yesterday, do you think?
I think so, but I had all the right judges were telling me that he was a very good chance. Obviously, he had the right form on the board in the Caulfield Guineas, and I thought his prep run in the CSAs was super, and probably a few people didn't understand how much he hated that soft ground that day, so we knew, of course.
Hey, Dom, could a race like the Australian Cup be on the agenda? Because he looks like he loves Flemington. Big, strong galloping horse. Get a nice weight relief at weight for age for a 3-year-old there. Could that be a possibility?
Exactly, Ollie. Yeah, that's a race that now he's a Group 1 winner and his rating has gone up. I think against the older horses, like you said, carrying not much weight might be his go, but he does have to make a big leap, stepping up against you know, the big boys and the likes of Mr. Bay.
Yeah, I think so. But, I mean, the thing about the race, it was truly run. There didn't seem to be too many excuses from the beaten brigade. I thought Gold Guru and Point and Shoot just got a little bit of a bumping duel sort of halfway down the straight, but it might have cost them a length or two. Certainly wasn't going to change the result. I thought Sepples was a really good run, like Matty pointed out. He probably got a little...
It is easy with hindsight, but for mine, the Black Booker is the third place getter there in Gold Rush Guru. Looks set for a very nice campaign, and Jamie Mallon was...
She Will Reign, Fiesta, Rubisaki, Rocketing By, Overpass, and most recently, Benedetta and Estrella in the past 2 years. It always assembles a...
Really good performance down the Flemington Straight, so the punters are getting around that horse, well backed in the past couple of hours, into $4 now. The other horse on the second line of betting, Cinderella, is a good horse on dry ground, $31, but it is about reserve bank. You can see the money continues for this horse, drawn to the grandstand side.
Stand well, and they're racing. Elmore Zillow away fairly. In the middle, jumping away pretty well, was Lavender Glory, with also Satin Stiletto. Certain Rise isn't too far away. It looks as though they're initially splitting here. A group over on the far side, headed off by Odin Sun, Satin Stiletto, Princess Q, and Immortal Stars in that group. And also behind those horses, settling down, Hot Diggity Boom. Then the main pack up the outside, headed by Certain Rise, leading from Scintilla. and they were followed by Midnight Dynamite, Beer Baron, Lavender Glory, Winning Proposal, Reserve Bank Deeper, and they were followed by Daggers, My Zephyr, and then came Hedonist, Elmore Zillows well back with Ruta Royale as they now blend in together across the track as they reach the 450, where it's Odin's Son and Princess Q over on the far side. Certain Rise yet to push the button, with also Scintilla the outer, followed by Satin Stiletto, and over on the far side Hot Diggity Boom, and then Reserve Bank, who's still coming on the outside. Plenty of chances in the sprint of the 150. Scintilla goes up with Hot Diggity Boom, and Elmore Zilla is finishing very fast, and also Daggers between them. Elmore Zilla over the top has won it. Elmore Zilla has won it by about a half length on the line from Daggers, and then a photo. Hot Diggity Boom, Scintilla and Certain Rise all there, followed by My Zephyr, followed by Princess Q. Satin.
At a nice little figure. Daggers in for...
Everyone is a fan of the restricted races for horses that have gone through certain sales, but consider the record in this race in recent times. Bella Nipotina ran second in it 4 years ago. Since then, Overpass, Benedetta, Estriella have all won the race in fine style and gone on to bigger and better things. No reason Elmore Zillow. We haven't seen Kelly Schweida bring down too many, but he only brings them down to Melbourne when they're decent, and she looks that and more.
Yeah, I thought the best ride in the race won this. Willow from an inside gate, went back, really cuddled this horse and saved it for its last run, which I like that kind of ride, particularly for the 1200 down the straight.
Elmore Zillow over the top has won it. Elmore Zillow has won it by about a half length on the line.
Outsider for the Price Kent team, but comes home with a couple of decent checks. Third place prize money in a $1 million race, but also first of the 4 who are eligible for the Inglis Pink bonus. So shown a direct meeting with Quinny. A sad week for racing. As we know, Mike Moroney was a man you had an incredible association with.
Yeah, I rode a lot of winners for Mike, 4 Group 1s. You know, he was a top trainer, champion bloke, and very humble, and, you know, while better known probably for training middle distance horses, had great success with sprinters and 2-year-olds as well. So, you know, taken too soon and he'll be sadly missed.
A lot of people. A sad week for racing. As we know, Mike Moroney was a man you had an incredible association with.
Yeah, I rode a lot of winners for Mike, 4 Group 1s. You know, he was a top trainer, champion bloke, and very humble, and, you know, while better known probably for training middle distance horses, had great success with sprinters and 2-year-olds as well. So, you know, taken too soon and he'll be sadly missed.
A lot of people